We're sorry. All of our representatives are still assisting other customers. Please remain on the line as we value your call. We're sorry. All of our representatives are still assisting other customers. Please remain on the line as we value your call. We're sorry. All of our representatives are still assisting other customers. Please remain on the line as we value your call.
Rob Renier Murdered. Sad state of affairs. We're going to get into that. Candace Owens versus Erika, Mina, or whoever this is. We're going to get into that. And also, Trump is talking about fentanyl is the weapon of mass destruction when he should be probably talking about himself. We're going to get into that and more today on What's the Business with Super Rig. What's the business, y'all? It's your local neighborhood Super Rig. Off in this thing. Please make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that hype. Well, the hype ain't going to show here, but whenever you see a video, hit that hype for your boy. So we can get things going on. Welcome to the show that talks about the issues that face us millennials or zennials like myself. That's 77 to 81, baby. Shout out to y'all on a daily basis. Today, those are 3 top topics that we will be talking about. And then just a bunch of bullshittery as well. If you are new here, welcome. If you are old here, once again, welcome. We are on a goal to roll this channel back into monetization. So I think we are about, what is it, 3,300 watch time hours away. So hey, every second counts. So I really appreciate you if you are over here. I don't know what else we're gonna talk about today. The time period for this live shall be about an hour and a half. We will be doing a chat as well. Matter of fact, let me say what's up to the folks in the chat. Why the chat don't be working? Let me see if I can get the chat working. We're gonna see if we can get the chat over here. All right, is the chat working? Hell to the no. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this chat working real quick. Hold on. Let's see. I'm probably gonna chop this video up some other time before, and then we're gonna get on. We're gonna say what's up to everybody, then we're gonna get into the news stories. This is gonna be more discussionary, call and response if you would like to say. So we're gonna see what y'all got to talk about, and if y'all got anything y'all want to throw into the chat, for us to speak about that we don't cover on today, then let us know. Okay, it should be showing. I don't know why it ain't showing real quick, y'all. This something's going on. Oh, this why. Okay, here we go. Boom. Allegedly Elise. What's the business? Allegedly Elise off in this thing. Do I got clapping? I ain't got no clapping over here. Well, goddamn it. What's up to you? What's up, Eddie? What's the business with you? Who else in the house? And where's the damn picture at? There's supposed to be a picture over here as well. Let's see. We go get it fixed, y'all. Let me go over here real quick. All right, yeah, that's it right there. So we just need to come back over here. Put that right shine. There we go, y'all. There we go. Okay, and so this is what we gonna be talking about. Where we gonna be sharing stuff over here. So and let me set this on auto too. Let me see who else in the house. Allegedly Lee says, "Hey, Super, look at me. Put a video playlist together so we can turn it home before we leave home, and it can play such video and run your hour." Oh, you right. That is a great idea. That is a wonderful idea. Let me write that down so I don't forget it. Create playlist. That is done and done. Thank you so much. I'm gonna be doing that as well. Wait, I sent you video links for the stores. Anyone calls off just in case you need them. Thank you so much. Where them at? They in I bet you it's in that email I ain't checked since I created it. And I'm glad you said something because I forgot I even created that damn email. Let me log into that real quick. Hold on, y'all. Let me did this button work? All right, this button do work. Okay. We go come back over here. All right, let me log into that email. You sent it to the Super Rig or the Super Rig? That's where you sent it to? Let's see where that's at. Hold on. Then we go get into the stores. Which that's why I'm doing it. I'm gonna record stores and then we go do these lives where I'll be 100% out of combobulation. Yeah, that's how we go do that. I ain't even got this thing Super Rig one. All right, here we go. I'll try to log in to an email that I don't even remember no more. Yeah, I done forgot the damn password already. All right, this is what we gonna do. We gonna go over the stories, and then we go. And my damn mouse done went out. Sure did. Ain't this a bitch? All right, there we go, right there. Okay. Gotta reset this password real quick, y'all. Speak amongst yourselves while we get this together. Thank you. Log into here. Watch, I ain't gonna be logged into it so I can reset it. Then they say I got kicked out of another damn email. Well, damn it, this is what we gonna do. We gonna go over the stores first, and then I'm gonna look for any extra stores that you got, cause it's gonna take me a minute to get in this damn email for real, and I ain't got the bandwidth, cause I do have to do some actual real life pay for all this shit work. So we gonna do that in a minute, okay? If you can put them in the chat as well. So the first story we gonna talk about is the Rob Reiner death situation. I believe it was his son that they done found out. I'm not 100% sure. And this is sad because Rob Reiner is a very, very good movie making person. He directed the, what is it called? The Spinal Tap movies. When Harry Met Sally and a couple other movies and stuff, but he real funny. He been in Curb Your Enthusiasm and stuff. They found him the other day at his Hollywood home or LA home. Billy Crystal saw him. That was his homeboy, and it's got to be crazy to see one of your oldest, bestest friends or good friends laid up like that. And of course, as they say, it's always the closest one to you. But I'm quite curious because you got people like the Menendez brothers, and I think somebody else from All in the Family had passed away as well. But what is it that causes not only celebrity kids, but just the rich kids to come and, you know, poke their parents up until they are not awake? Because poking somebody, oh, I'm sorry, that's the prison term for stabbing. It's very, very personal. You don't poke nobody unless you like was real upset. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see what are the most updated parts of the story, then just try to see if we can piece together this phenomenon. It is said that he suffered from what is it called? Substance abuse and stuff. So we gonna see. We gonna go to the best place to get this type of information. That's right, TM Zizzles. We are going to see. This is from 3 hours ago. This is a sad state of affairs right here. It says his daughter found the bodies in rigor mortis. So now the question is, I don't know how long it take for rigor mortis to kick in. How long was that? How long were the bodies out for that to happen? It says, as Nick Reiner prepares to make his first court appearance, TMZ has learned that Rob and Michelle had been dead for some time before their daughter made the grisly discovery. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ when police arrived on the scene Sunday afternoon around 3:40 p.m., rigor mortis appeared to have set in Rob and Michelle's bodies, meaning they had been deceased for hours before their daughter Rummy arrived. Rummy arrived at the house and found the bodies, then called police before calling longtime friend Billy Crystal. Police interviewed Rummy at the scene, who by then was joined by a female friend, and we hear she told officers her brother Nick was dangerous. We're told she also said that Nick was living at the house, but he was not there when she arrived, insinuating he fled the scene. Sources tell us the scene was something out of a nightmare with the bodies butchered. The devastation was described as actions of a madman. As you know, Rob and Michelle were found Sunday afternoon. Currently, Nick is being held without bail on suicide watch. So, Rob and Michelle Reiner's son on suicide watch after arrest in parents' murder case. Nick Reiner is on suicide watch after being arrested on suspicion of murder his parents. And that's him from here. Damn. We gonna see what had caused that weight gain, because I had heard stories that he was off of, you know, which one is it on? When you on the wagon, off the wagon? Anyway, he was on the part of the wagon where you don't do cocaine. Nick Reiner is on suicide watch after being arrested on suspicion of murdering his parents, Rob and Michelle. Law enforcement tell TMZ Nick is on suicide watch and in administrative segregation at Twin Towers Correctional Facility in LA. He's being held without bail. As reported, prior to Rob and Michelle stabbing, Nick got into a very loud argument with his father at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party. How you go ruin Conan O'Brien's Christmas party? You know Conan O'Brien is a jolly fellow. Saturday night. Dang. We're told the shadow match was loud enough for many others to hear, and that Rob and Michelle then left the party. We do not know if Nick left with them. A source told us Nick looked out of place at the party, mostly keeping it to himself, especially if he came in that. This is not Christmas party gear right here. This right here lets you know that somebody is unwell if they show up to the Christmas festivities in a members only jacket and a Walmart dress shirt. Our family sources told us Michelle had been anguishing to friends over the last few months that she and Rob were at their wits' end over Nick's mental illness and alleged substance abuse issues and did not know what to do with their son Nick, saying, "We tried everything." So let us see, what was his jobs, his drugs, issue with drugs. First, we go check out this interview. It says A tense past with son Nick resurfaces in an old interview. Let's check this out. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This is gonna be sounding very superficial, okay? But I always judge the teeth health of those who have the means to not have buttery teeth. And right there, I believe that is parquet. And to walk around knowing damn well you can go and get the dental work, cleaning, even some horrible veneers, as long as you don't go to Atlanta and do that, further lets me know mental instability was afoot in this person's brain. It says Rob Reiner and his son Nick were on rocky ground long before tragedy struck, with both publicly hinting at a fractured father-son relationship years before the director and his wife were brutally killed. Crimes Nick is now allegedly linked to. Back in 2015, where I plug in Being Charlie, a film loosely inspired by Nick's real-life struggles. This dude made a whole movie about his son's struggles, and he get payback with a knife to the literal abdomen or back end or throat. I'm not sure all the places that, you know, they stabbed, but still though, that's messed up. Directed by Rob and written by Nick, Rob admitted the two butted heads during the writing process. As Rob got emotional, Nick sat stone face before finally chiming in that their bond came from him watching his dad in his element doing what Rob did best, making movies, adding he probably should have kept quiet and learned from him. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It was a part right here where Rob Reiner was talking. Let me see. He said something. Let me see if this part. God damn it, the sound ain't working on the damn interview, is it? Motherfucker. My bad, y'all. Hold on. Let me get it. It should be working now. Check this out. We gonna listen to it again.
Tough at all.
Really?
I mean, of course it was a little bit, but
I mean, we did get into fights over things, but ultimately it forced us to make the film better.
that it really clicked for me because we didn't bond a lot as a kid. Like, he really liked baseball, I like basketball, and he could watch that with my brother, but baseball. But I just, when I saw him do that, and it was something that I'm interested in, I was like, wow, like he really knows a lot, and like it made me feel closer to him.
All right, this is the part right here.
A little bit, but
I mean, we did get into fights over things, but ultimately
when he turned his head right here, he was like, if you do not shut the fuck up, I promise I will poke you right here on this stage.
Forced us to make the
Like, look at that lower jaw. See, he is upset that dude was even speaking. And I don't know if y'all been around a person that y'all don't like that, but never is okay to poke somebody, especially when you live in there. But we've all had a time where we was like, if this motherfucker don't shut up, I swear I'm cool with going to jail. That's the kind of look this gentleman had on his face right here. Let's see what his issues with drugs were and how long it had been, because I forgot to see how old this guy was. What is his name? His name is Rob Reiner. Son drug problems. Let's see if we can find some that show the drug problems. All right, so we about to hit the page 6. This is the white folks version of Media Takeout and or the Shade Room, I believe. Rob Reiner believed his son Nick was sober in his drug addiction battle 3 months before the murders. Rob Reiner's son Nick was in a really good place 3 months before allegedly murdering his parents. The director spoke to NPR in September about the 32-year-old being more than 6 years clean from drugs while promoting the Spinal Tap sequel. If y'all like Spinal Tap, hey, go watch the first one. If you ain't never seen Spinal Tap, if you like, dry humor and stuff, mockumentary type, The Office, stuff like that, watch the first Spinal Tap from back in the 80s. Then watch this newest one, and you'll probably like them. They was both directed by Rob Reiner. Some good stuff. Anyway. The director spoke to NPR in September about his 32-year-old being more than 6 years clean sober. The All in the Family alum who was slain on Sunday at age 78 insisted to the outlet that Nick had been doing great. This is 2013. So yeah, and them weight fluctuations, and I know this because I done had been very close to people that's been addicted to stuff, and them weight fluctuations they go through be so crazy, just how fast it occurs and stuff. And right here, I'm gonna be very honest, the weight and the teeth grinding, maybe they call him mid-sentence, but to me it looks very James Brown grindish. CNN video. So yeah, during the interview, Rob reflected on collaborating with Nick on Being Charlie. All right, we talked about that. Let's see if they got a history of his drugs. He said he acknowledged he made mistakes and has talked to Nick about that since. What mistakes? Wait, so that was him? He said the Emmy winner compared himself to the father character in the film played by Cary Elwes, and explained that he was never ever too busy for Nick. Instead, Rob admitted, if anything, I was the other way around. I was more hands-on, trying to do whatever I thought could help. That same month, Nick joined his father as well as his mother at the Spinal Tap 2 continues premiere. Okay. Let's see. Nick Reiner drug addiction. Damn, he was homeless too. This was from 10 years ago. Nick Reiner struggles with drugs and homelessness, left his parents desperate. So this is when he was 32 years old. He was arrested after the deaths. Okay. After Nick Reiner entered the first drug treatment program at about 15, his turbulent life veered between rehab and homelessness, sobriety efforts, and relapse. Damn. All right. So yeah, he had been addicted from a young age, that's some rough stuff when people start that young. At times it appeared as if he had achieved more stability in adulthood, but any semblance of equilibrium were shattered when Reiner's parents, Hollywood director Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner, were stabbed to death. For many years, Rob Reiner, creator of beloved movies such as When Harry Met Sally and The Princess Bride, was contending with a child crisis. The family struggle was largely kept private when Nick Reiner was young, but in his adult, he openly discussed his battles with heroin and cocaine in interviewing podcasts. All right. So yeah, he was dealing with the big boys. He once estimated he had been in a drug treatment 18 times during his teenage years. In the public interviews, Nick Reiner told anecdotes about his crisis and his volatile behavior. Once awake for days on cocaine in his parents' guest house, he started punching out different things, including a television and a lamp, and recalls on the podcast Dopey in 2018, everything in the guest house got wrecked, he said. Another time he said he had a heart attack on a plane because of cocaine use and woke up in the hospital. And he once threw a rock through a window at a treatment center to convince officials that he needed medication. He said on another podcast about addiction in 2016. I was so lost, I didn't know anything about myself or the world, Nick Reiner said on the podcast. And that's all I knew as a coping mechanism. Alan Horn, a former Disney studio chairman and a close friend and longtime collaborator with Rob Reiner, said the family friends had known about Nick's history of substance abuse problems, but that the Reiners had largely kept the details private. He recalled that Michelle Reiner had said a few years ago of her son's struggles, "We've tried everything, we don't know what else to do." When Nick Reiner was first sent to rehab as a teenager, he recalled in a 2016 podcast he was put in a room with a heroin addict. Though he told himself at the time he would never try doing a drug, he ultimately did. All right, I'm not laughing because it's funny, but that's how prison work on some real stuff. Like, a lot of people go into prison for some petty shit. Like, you know, they might have shoplifted or whatever, but now you done put them in there with people that was doing all sorts of super scams, credit card scams or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then they learn horrific stuff that they didn't even cross their mind. All they did was want to steal a jacket because it was cold outside. Now, next thing you know, they is emptying out grandma's and nana's retirement accounts, maxing out the credit cards and stealing stuff like that. So they put him in a rehab center. I'm assuming it was for the cocaine at first. And then he got close with the heroin addict, and they probably exchanged junkie tales. And the heroin dude was like, yeah, cocaine cool and stuff, but on some real shit, hey, when last time cocaine had you like standing up, leaning over? Like, you don't know what you missing. You need to get on some of this Lady H, some of this black tar, buddy. And he was like, that's real messed up, man. Let's continue. It says, I've noticed that when you're surrounded by people that are so willing to go in and out and ruin everything just for one thing, he said, you get desensitized to those really hardcore things. When he refused to stay in rehab as an older teenager, he would sometimes end up in the streets and in shelters, telling People magazine in 2016 that he had been homeless at times in Maine, New Jersey, and Texas. Wow, that means he done probably hitchhiked, and he might have been a lot lizard. I don't know if y'all know what a lot lizard is, but look it up. And if he was, whew, it's a crazy state of affairs right there, buddy. Jeez. When I was out there, I could have died, he told the magazine. It's all luck. You roll the dice and hope you make it. Definitely. He definitely played in that lot lizard street. I'm telling you that right now. He did that. I can't 100% guarantee it, but when you talk about rolling dice like that, and now you're getting from New Jersey to Texas. Nobody leaving New Jersey to come to Texas unless you're moving for a job. When I was out there, I could have died, he told the magazine. It's all luck. Oh, I read that. Born in 1993, Nick Reiner grew up with his two siblings, Jake and Rummy. By the time they were born, their father was a Hollywood hitmaker who got his acting start on the sitcom All in the Family. Their grandfather, Carl Reiner, who created the Dick Van Dyke Show, was a giant of 20th century television. Nick Reiner eventually entered the entertainment industry himself. At one drug treatment center more than a decade ago, he started writing a television script, and another resident, Matt Ellisophan, pulling from their experiences in rehab. Unable to spend much more time on the computer, they wrote it longhand. After getting his GED, general education and development, they had to put that in quotes and stuff because the folks who read the Irish Times, they're like, GED, what the hell is that? Also known as a high school equivalency deployment, I think they meant diploma, or general equivalency diploma. Reiner had planned to go to college in North Carolina but decided against it. After reconnecting with Ellisophan in New York, they committed to realizing their script. With the backing of Reiner's father, the idea became a feature-length movie centered on the tensions between an actor-turned-politician and drug-addicted son. The release of the movie Being Charlie, which was directed by Rob Reiner and loosely based on his relationship with his son, included a round of interviews in which the Reiners laid bare their difficulties they had faced. In an interview with the Los Angeles Times in 2015, Rob Reiner expressed some level of regret of how he handled his son's unraveling. When his son told his parents that a drug treatment program was not working for him, Reiner said, "We wouldn't listen. We were desperate because the people had diplomas on their wall. We listened to them. We should have been listening to our son," he added in an interview. Hey, that actually is some real stuff. Like, seriously, like, all jokes aside, you got to be very careful with those types of facilities or church or any institutions where it's to help, right? Sometimes they can help. Sometimes it is helpful, but especially when it's for profit, they trying to get some bodies in the bed. You know what I mean? And sometimes if you listen to the person that's suffering through what they going through, y'all may be able to come through something on your own, or maybe they need to talk to somebody else, you know, like that y'all know and translate or something. So it's a rock and a hard place. They shouldn't really blame themselves, I don't feel, because you don't know what to do in them type of situations. You really don't. You want to help the person, and sometimes you like, yo, I wish I could help you, but you stress me out too much, so I'm gonna put you over here in these folks' hands because I just don't have the capacity no more. So it might have been something like that, but damn, that's crazy. They was walking around with that feeling of hopelessness and regret and stuff. After years of distancing himself from his family, Nick Reiner eventually moved back to Los Angeles. He and his father said making the movie had helped repair their fractured relationship. Barry Markowitz, who met the Reiners as cinematographer on Being Charlie, said that although Nick Reiner had seemed inclined to stay under the radar, his parents and siblings had encouraged him to do what he loved, and he had funneled his love for writing into a movie about his life. Okay, I'm gonna have to this was kind of where he messed up, and this is why you gotta be very careful with what you tell people. All right, Barry just said that Nick Reiner seemed inclined to stay under the radar. His parents and siblings encouraged him to do what he loved. And when I hear that, that's kind of mean it's Jaw's fault, because he kind of loves cocaine. And after he met old buddy, he loves heroin. So you can't say those type of phrases to people like that. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm trying to lose weight. Okay. I love eggnog. I don't need somebody coming to me saying, hey, you need to go do what you love, because I'm going to go back up a truck to the store and load it up with eggnog, because I enjoy pouring and drinking eggnog. So I get what they saying, but you got to be careful. I'm just saying you need to be more careful with the phrasing of certain things. They said it was some feat that after what Nick went through, that he can pull it together and write a script about his experiences, he said. After the movie was finished, Markowitz found himself embraced by the family, which he described as a tight-knit, warm household. Whenever Markowitz was in Los Angeles, Rob and Michelle Reiner insisted he stay with them. Whenever I went to LA, the door was open, he said. They wouldn't have it any other way. The children regularly ate dinner with their parents at the home in Brentwood, Markowitz said. A common scene was the entire family sitting in the living room watching a basketball game or the news, with the whole family often yelling at the TV at the same time. Wow. Markowitz described Michelle and Reiner with the Yiddish word balabusta, a mother who runs the show. There's nothing they wouldn't do for the kids, he said of the couple. Now, I gotta be honest, me and my wife was watching Home Alone the other day, and I think it was Sunday. And what I realized watching that movie was that being too nice to kids can make them buttholes. I really realized that watching that movie. If you take a look at Kevin, for instance, he was talking to his moms. They had ordered a pizza. Then nobody ordered cheese pizza because cheese pizza ain't real. If you wanted some cheese pizza, you should have asked for some goddamn cheese bread, because that's what the hell it is. Ain't nobody about to spend no $18 on an extra large cheese pizza when you could have got you the $4 box of Italian cheese sticks from Little Caesars, boy. Any damn way, he didn't get it. They go upstairs to the upstairs thing, and he turned around. She was like, you go upstairs because you wanted Christmas. He was like, some, you dummy. And she was like, oh, she didn't even check him. Matter of fact, she didn't even check him. She was just like, well, you go up on the 3rd floor. And he was like, oh, but I'm scared. And she was like, you should have thought about that. He was like, yeah, I hope all you motherfuckers die, and I hope you disappear, and I don't want no family. She was like, hey, watch what she say. You say it again, and it might happen. He said it again. She closed the door, boom. He woke up the next day, no family. What I'm trying to say is, when we were all younger, we all want to live in that type of household where it's like you get what you want, and they say, but all of the kids who be getting what they want the most, from at least on the rich side of it, I don't know about the broke people side of it, but on the rich side, they be wanting their family to disappear. We seen the whole movie about it. Y'all seen the movie. This dude right here. And my wife had mentioned something. We was like, man, we all wanted to have a house to ourselves like that when we was young. And I was like, well, not me, because we only had like 2 bedrooms and stuff. And I knew damn well, even my mama was disappeared, I can't be jumping on the bed eating no goddamn popcorn. Are you crazy? Are you insane? Deranged? Anyway, I'm bringing that up just because that type of stuff does. It appears that the more you spoil a child, the crazier they are. I'm semi-spoiled, but not no, I'm my parents spoiled. But anyway, I just thought about that when they said how wonderful his upbringing is. You need to bring kids up in a smidge of suffering. Just a smidge. Look at Carson on the Fresh Prince, same thing. Now we find out he was getting backdoor boogie by Jada Smith, allegedly, hyperbole. And then way. The night before the Rainers were found dead, Rob and Nick Reiner had attended a holiday party at the home of comedian Conan O'Brien, according to 3 attendees who asked not to be identified to maintain relationships, which is so crazy how they like, yo, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to lose my... But it be like that though, I ain't mad at them. Rob and Nick Reiner got into a shouting match at the party, said one of the attendees who recalled Rob Reiner as saying that his son was behaving inappropriately. The attendee said that it was unclear what the argument had been about, but that Nick Reiner's past struggles were commonly known. Nick Reiner was arrested on Sunday night and remains in a jail in Los Angeles County. It was unclear whether he has a lawyer. Jeffrey Mark, a comedian, known Rob Reiner for about 30 years, seeing him at a group of dinners and other events. He said that his friend had never been explicit about the challenges they were facing at home, but he noticed that Reiner would sometimes use a joking but pointed expression when asked how he was doing, and then he would say, go have children. It's a humorous way of sharing with someone that there are troubles that they don't really want to go into, Mark said, but they're there. And really, to be honest, somebody would be like, hey, go, you want to know how I'm doing, go have some kids. No, that means exactly what they said it means. It means, hey, go have some kids, because I'm struggling off in this thing. I don't really know what to say about this. This is a sad state of affairs. In all reality, all jokes aside, why my button keep switching? Sad state of affairs, all jokes aside, you know what I'm saying? Prayers up to the family and things. There's really no way to know how your kids gonna turn out, what is going to cause them to fall in drugs, even when you give them everything. And this goes to let you show material stuff 100% is nice to have, especially your needs, but as far as all the wants and stuff, hey, even with the wants, you can't control it. He was liking watching baseball, and his daddy liked basketball, and even when his daddy said, okay, you know what, I'm gonna watch a baseball game, he said, fuck you, dad, and it didn't even work and went to turn to the needle. I don't know, but he gonna be in jail because everybody like Rob Reiner, and he might not even have a lawyer. I wonder is the estate or the family gonna help him pay for the lawyer? Because I ain't gonna front. If I was a brother and sister, you wouldn't be getting nothing. I'm like, yeah, buddy, you're not gonna get anything. So, man, R.I.P. to Rob Reiner. Them. Let's see what y'all talking about in the show. Let's see. It's really good. Blows the struggle and shows the struggle of a father and a son. Oh, you talking about the movie? All right, that's what's up. I probably ain't gonna watch it. I can't do the real sentimental type movie things because it'd be too much for me. Let's see. Rainy Feathers, 1948. Does Nick have any normal photos? He always looking a bit nutty. I mean, that's the thing. We talking about drug use and stuff, but he got the eyes of a killer. Like this be what them death metal songs was about. back in the 80s and things of that nature. Like that's what that, and he ain't even really like is he a Gen Z? If he was like in his early 30s now, I don't know, but yes. When would you let go? Because like I said, I done been situated in relationships with people that's done had family members that suffer from that. And the one thing I did learn from all of that is you got to be able to say fuck you. You got to get your own shit together, and you got to do it way over there. You can't come over here type shit. You can't let them be close, because that's a form of enablement that I found. And everybody who all the people I know where everybody just quote unquote left them for dead or whatever, eventually worked everything out on their own, because they knew everybody left them for dead, because they tried all of the regular ways. They fucked everybody over when they weren't really ready. So everybody's like, fuck y'all, get your own shit together, and you know, we'll see if you can even come back in this bitch. And all the people I know that went through addiction and stuff, that everybody just did a hard stop in communication. It might have took 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. It took a while on some real shit. It took a very long time. It wasn't like no next year or no year after next. It took like 7, 8 years. All them people I know is 100% cool now. Like they had to go through whatever they went through, and they got their stuff together. And tough love it can be a hard thing to do, but usually that's what's needed in these types of situations. Because in the experiences I'm telling you about, it was like 5, 6 years of the soft love. Like, oh, you know, they just stressed out. What can I do? You go through that shit. Like, what can I do to fix it? You think you can fix it eternally? Other people, they think they can fix it eternally. You think it's material shit. You think it's attention. You think it's look. But once they get in the grips of the addiction, and they may not even be able to, formulate a way to express what it is going through, what they going through. Even if they talk to a specialist, sometimes all therapists, it's not a one size fit all for therapists. A lot of people need to go to different therapists or different programs to be able for stuff to work for them sometimes. So ain't nothing you can really tell nobody. My advice is you got to tell them motherfuckers to kick rocks. That's if you really love them, and more importantly, if you love yourself. It's cool loving other people, but you gotta love yourself, whether it's your kid, wife, husband, whatever fuck. You put the mask on yourself first. Then you can put it on the next person. But if the next person is slumped over from heroin, they ain't even go get all of the air and stuff. They lung capacity is low, so you can't even give them you got to keep it on here until they get cognizant of it. Like, yo, all right, I'm back. Can I get some air? It take a while for that though. What is y'all experiences? Have y'all ever experienced anything with people? Have any experience with people suffering from addiction? Was it close family, spouse? You ain't got to tell us who, but have you been in that same situation where it's somebody real close that you really care about, that you can't just automatically say fuck, like a coworker? Like coworker come to work junked out, she could be like, I knew Curtis was stealing my lunch, but I didn't know why. Now I get all his regular money is going to that white girl. And I don't mean Leslie in accounting. I mean the real life. Let's see what y'all talking about. Who else in the house? Also, a flagger fell to his death from a lamppost while trying to hang a Union Jack flag. They're calling him their first martyr. Wait, who did? What was we talking about? Oh, you did send a super. I'm gonna have to get into that email. Teresa and Rainey, that's what I was thinking too. Either I can hit play on the playlist before I leave home. Oh, okay, yeah. I wrote it down. I got that right there. Let's see. Addicts don't need to be in a room with another addict because they are counterproductive to the counseling program. They didn't put him in the rich man's rehab. He was in a regular rehab. I don't know. Have y'all watched BoJack Horseman before? BoJack Horseman, one of the rehab people had been an addict a long time ago. And BoJack was in one of them $40,000 a month situations. And BoJack ended up getting his sponsor dude that worked up there back on the wagon or off the wagon. You know, is one of the wagons. So, because they say people that experienced it before are good to be a part of the program. So, I don't know. Maybe it was a jacked up one, but when I don't know anything about the program. So when they put you in the program, are you not supposed to be near anybody else in the program? Is everybody like in solitary confinement? Because I know in them prison shows, they all be in a circle and the AA meetings and y'all get up like, yeah, my name is Lucius and I am alcoholic or whatever. Do they not have them around each other to share cracky tales? Please let me know. Allegedly, Lee said a lot lizard hangs around truck stops in industrial areas trying to make a sale. Because of this, they attract addicts to the area as well. That's old school Arkansas slang. Hey, I think that's like trucker slang and stuff. Because you know the lot lizards, you know they do be selling it. They be selling it. I think the Froster has had his time as a lot lizard as well. If you haven't seen the movie Beautiful Boy, Poison Ivy said, I order cheese pizza because I don't eat pork and beef. When I make it at home, I use turkey pepperoni. You still cool with me, Poison Ivy, even though you is out there wasting perfectly good dough and cheese and sauce. Just wasting it. This is what the cheese sticks is for. Hey, what's the business, April? I'm making pizza right now. Rainy Feather said, at least that's some relief. Was worried about bro was, you know, what we was talking about, the lot lizards. But yeah, that's a crazy situation right there, y'all. It really is. All right. Next story we gonna talk about is Candace Owens versus Erika Mena or Devil Lady Face or whatever this broad is. I don't like neither one of these heifers, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you. One is a super race trader, and the other one is just evil. She's real evil. And she got a hyped head. I think in her world, like, dudes think she attractive, the Erika one, and she ain't cute at all. Like, I don't like people who like really think they cute, but in the grand, like in reality they ain't. Ain't goddamn way. Apparently they had a face off yesterday, which is crazy. Both of them need some help. They had a face off about Charlie Kirk, Gumby Head, which is crazy. Be fighting over Gumby Head, which really, I ain't gonna lie, it kind of hurt my self-esteem because ain't nobody ever went and did a 4-hour talk about me and stuff. I'm worth 4 hours, not on Charlie Kirk. Let's see what the hell was going on with this. Let's see if we find the story. Candace Owens, and all right, so let's see what it was. We gonna go to CNN. Shout out to CNN for being the news until they get bought up by Trump and people with that whole Netflix buyout. I don't know what's going on. Erika Kirk and Candace Owens meet amid an escalating feud over Charlie Kirk's assassination. Nobody care. And do we really have to call it that? Can we just call it a muffin peel back assassination? John F. Kennedy got assassinated. Martin Luther King assassinated. Malcolm X assassinated. Lincoln, even though he said he would let the slavery keep popping if he could, he got assassinated. Charlie Kirk was just up there talking and he got shot. Do that mean all my homeboys from back in the day got assassinated too? Huh? Y'all let me know what you think. Y'all can send all hate mail to superrig@gmail.com. So it cannot be read like my work mail does not get read. Erika Kirk, the widow of slain conservative influencer Charlie Kirk, met Monday with a podcast. They call Candace Owens a podcast. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but in like the big media, in what is it, mainstream media, the term podcast is still like saying, oh, so you got your little new job, huh? That's your little house over there. That's the equivalent of that. That was highly disrespectful what they did to Candace. When she read it, she was like, I know y'all motherfucker didn't. But that was funny. Amid an intensifying public feud over Owens' promotion of conspiracy theories surrounding Kirk's death, both women described the meeting as productive. In social media posts Monday night, Owens wrote that their conversation lasted 4.5 hours and she promised to share more details on her Tuesday show. We agreed much more than I anticipated, she said. Let me see what the hell they talking about, she said. Of course, we disagree on various points, and people as well. Most importantly, we were able to share intel and classify intent. Look, it's some WWE shit. I smell it. It's horse shit. But we gonna continue to read this bullshit. The meeting marked the first direct conversation between Kirk and Owens after a gunman fatally wounded Charlie Kirk during an appearance on the Utah College campus in September. In the months following the killing, the two women communicated only through intermediaries as their relationship deteriorated, according to a person with knowledge of their interactions. Owens has unsettled a conservative movement still grappling with Kirk's death by devoting hours of her popular podcast to unproven claims surrounding the shooting and by casting doubt without evidence on the government case against the accused gunman. The speculation has posed an unwelcome challenge for Kirk's organization and his widow, who have sought to carry forward her husband's mission of hating all people other than white people. I'm sorry, that's not what it said, but that was what his mission was. It says, carry forward her mission without its charismatic leader. We calling somebody saying dumb shit charisma now? Because they be saying Trump is charismatic. They be saying he charismatic. So just saying dumb shit is charisma. Don't be calling me charismatic no more, y'all. I don't want that label and shit. I really don't. If it's got to be connected to them motherfuckers. Erika Kirk is now leading Turning Point while also promoting her husband's promiscuously published book and raising their two young children. This week, Turning Point USA will host America Fest. These names, I swear they be coming with some bullshit. It's the largest annual gathering in Phoenix. It would be in Arizona. That makes sense. That checks. Owens, who regularly appeared at the past events, is not among the announced speakers. That's sad. You really think you are accepted in them circles? You really think that's crazy? Well, Owens has said. Owens has alleged Charlie Kirk was betrayed by close friends, suggested a multi-national conspiracy involving Israel and France was responsible for his killing, and accused the Egyptian military of tracking Erika Kirk for years. She noted in a separate video posted Monday on Instagram that she asked Erika Kirk every single question, including about her allegation that Egypt was tracking Kirk, and would share more details Tuesday. She often attributes her knowledge to vague sources. They shading the hell out of her in this thing. She often attributes her knowledge to vague sources and insiders at Turning Point USA, the conservative youth organization, aka Super Cult. They didn't say that. I'm putting it in there. Charlie Kirk founded and built into a major political force. Owens worked at Turning Point from 2017 to 2019 and had a close relationship with Kirk. Her focus on Kirk's assassination has coincided with significant growth in her podcast audience. She now has more than 5.6 million subs on YouTube and 7.5 followers on X. At first, people close to Charlie Kirk opted not to respond publicly to Owens, allowing her space for grief and expecting her to focus on the killing to eventually fade. The source familiar with their interaction said, Turning Point at one point confirmed the authenticity of some private text messages sent by Charlie Kirk and posted by Owens. But their approach shifted as Owens continued to release episodes centered on Kirk's death, drawing millions of views. Private efforts to dissuade her, including outreach to her inner circle, were unsuccessful, the source said. Owens has said on her podcast that she would stop what she called her investigation into Charlie Kirk's They be killing me with them quotes. And to Charlie Kirk's death, if Erika just called her and asked her to do so. Asked about Owens during a CBS town hall that aired Saturday, Kirk responded, "Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop." She also called Owens' comments sick during an appearance on conservative commentator Glenn Beck's podcast. "Everyone wants to answer to this evil, and sometimes the answer is very clear," Kirk said. "The truth is very clear." Yes, the truth is very clear. You did this shit. We assuming that you had something to do with it because you look like a evil person. Like, you look like you might not even be a human. You might be one of them robots from Austin Powers. You seem like you one of them because you don't appear to act like you got a soul. How you had children, I think they might be Beyonce babies, aka be a surrogate. All the Beehive can send a hate mail. Super said that shit at gmail.com. I'm just saying. I would like to be very clear. Nothing that feels right to me about the Charlie Kirk assassination, especially the way some of his employees and friends have been behaving since that assassination, she said. Oh, responding on her podcast, Owen said she couldn't stop unless Erika Kirk is more explicit about which remarks are false. And why you just don't say you think she did it? Like, on some real stuff. We know you think she did it, Owens, Candace, Kunich. We know because that's what everybody else think. Nobody think, and not she did it alone, though. I think we all think that the Trump administration and everything set it up for him to get murked so that they could have a martyr type thing and people could have sympathy and then blame the left side and the progressives and whoever they enemies that, oh, they the hateful ones, they popping, they peeling people muffin top backs in public at schools and stuff. And look at this dude, the person who did it wore fingernail polish and had green hair and had a boyfriend and stuff. I think that's what they tried to say, but it was just too convenient. And let's be real, somebody who wear this go sound bad, but follow me. Who putting on fingernail polish really, instead of finding new colors to put on, go playing a hit like that by themselves when they could be looking through the Avon book? They could be up at Neiman Marcus at the Mac counter. Go have us believing they did that by themselves when they wear fingernail polish, and there's way more fingernail polish related activities for them to do. For shame. Owens' rebuttal racked up 2.6 million streams on YouTube in a few days. Erika Kirk's appearance on the Beck Show, meanwhile, totaled 62,000 views. Damn, Beck, they said your show is ass. They said Owens' little boy is you. Said 2.6 million. Wow. They shitted on your little ass show. While some conservatives have condemned Owens, who has also espoused anti-Semitic views, others have avoided direct criticism. Tucker Carlson, a friend of Charlie Kirk's and a scheduled speaker at the America Fest, I don't think it's no friends on that side. The motherfuckers back just stab each other like on an hourly basis. Tucker Carlson recently embraced Owens' theory about Egyptian aircraft following Erika Kirk while appearing on comedian Theo Von's podcast. He posted later on X saying he loved both Owens and Erika Kirk. Can we stop with this I love everybody type shit? Anybody who is earnestly searching for the truth, I'm not going to criticize no matter what track they're on, he said. That's leaving a window for him to, I guess I can agree with that. If somebody don't think something true and they going through it, even if they grifting, hey, it is what it is. Milo Yiannopoulos tweeted, "Pray for Candace. What these conniving vipers are doing to her is cruel and dangerous, and they are only getting started." Who the hell is Milo Yiannopoulos? Others are less charitable. Laura Loomer has repeatedly taken shots at Owens, calling her a grifter. Podcaster Tim Pool said that after Kirk's murderer, second on his list of individuals who are doing everything in their power to stop what remains of Charlie Kirk's dream is Candace Owens. No one is doing more damage. No one is causing more harm to his family. What? No, she's still doing it to where white people is go take over. Like, she still promotes. She literally tried to go to black college campuses and be like, hey, how about y'all start not wanting yourselves to progress freely and vote into systems that further oppress you more forever. So she is, I'm talking about right there, following Charlie Kirk's dreams and stuff. What are you even talking about, buddy? This Gumby face bastard. You know how they say somebody got a punchable face? Well, I think Erika Kirk said he had a different type of bull face. Let y'all figure that out. Figure that out yourself. Lately, Kirk's allies have attempted to confront Owens head on. Blake Neff, the producer of Kirk's podcast, announced that Turning Point would address the conspiracies on the show to set the record straight once and for all, and invited Owens to the recording in Phoenix. Owens, who previously said that she'd meet anytime, any place, said her husband told her she couldn't go because they had company visiting from out of town. What? That ain't no good excuse for what you claiming you trying to accomplish. Owens has largely avoided other encounters where her assertions can be challenged. Yeah, remember that time T.I. checked her when he was like, yo, when has America ever been great? And she was just, exactly, you ain't got shit to say, shut the fuck up. He didn't say the second part, but that's what, we knew that's what it was alleged to be. Owens has largely avoided other encounters where her assertions can be challenged, but in an interview with CNN this fall, Owens said there's going to be a lot of financial reports that are coming out that affirm Kirk was betrayed. None has since emerged. CBS News reported that the Treasury Department recently took the usual step of releasing a letter to Erika Kirk saying the group was not under investigation by the IRS. During the CNN interview, Owens also stated she did not believe that the alleged assassin Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. Asked the basis for that assertion, Owens said, I don't know, maybe the weird Fed messages that were concocted out of thin air that had no timestamp and were written like they were speaking in 1822. Don't get it twisted. Her not believing, what the evidence was submitted. I mean, who believes the evidence when the feds are putting it out there? The remark referred to text messages allegedly sent by Robinson that were included in his indictment. When asked if she had any proof that the investigators made up the messages, Owens did not provide it. She also suggested the messages originated on Discord, an assertion disputed by the indictment. I actually did not read that they were text messages, he said. In an X post on Monday night, Erika signaled she was ready to move past the controversy. Time to get back to work, she wrote. Owens began her video after the meeting, promising to offer more details in her next show 4.5 hours later. I'm alive, she began. I'm alive. They use some corny bastards. All right, let's see if we can find if Candace Owens did any updates. Now, this was yesterday when she says, I will have, of course, a full-blown rundown of all tomorrow for you. Hold on. Here you go. I will, of course, have a full-blown rundown for you all tomorrow as I'm currently exhausted, but I wanted to quickly let you guys know that absolutely nothing was held back, and the immediate result was that tensions were thawed. Let me see what people reaction to this is. This isn't an update. It's a damage report wrapped in diplomacy. 4 hours is how long it took to stitch two signal assets back together. They didn't meet to reconcile. They met to resync, to clarify the edges of the script, to reassign intent before the glitch spread too far. Intel was shared. Nothing was held back. More agreement than expected. These aren't phrases from a tweet. They are phrases from a recovery protocol. You're not being told what happened. You're being told what to feel. Wow. That's facts right there. That the tension has thawed, that the storm has passed, that trust can resume. But the real question is, who issued the order to seal the rift before the next act aired? This wasn't a peace talk. This was an edit session, live from the control room. Shout out to this person, man, who wrote that. And delete your handler. Now, I will say this, delete your handler is the only bad thing about when you post up and your name is delete the handler and stuff. You are giving 2009, 2010 YouTube conspiracy theory vibes. It comes across much more relatable with just a regular name and saying all the same stuff. Have your picture, you eating at IHOP or something like that, but because... I'm just saying, but you 100% right with what you said. Everything you said was 100% right. Somebody else said, I think there are many of us wondering, one, why this wasn't a public conversation, and two, why TPUSA, Toilet Paper USA, I believe that's what it stands for, appeared to violate the agreement to hold off on live streaming until the two of you talked. While I'm glad to hear this was productive, I think many of us wondered if this was used as a tactic to keep you off air during their rebuttal. Now, here you go, where she is not a superstar, and she is not fighting. I don't think she is fighting for his views. Okay. Somebody else said, this is awful. It sounds like you caved. These are all Caucasians and or body counts. You're not going to stop investigating, right? Question mark. Let's see what somebody said. She is not an investigator. She's a bullshitter. Hey, for real though. Brano says, shit, whatever will you do? If so, Adam, I mean, it's not like you actually create original content. You just, okay, nobody give a fuck about that. That's what I do. Candace Owens fans, that sinking feeling is your dawning realization that she was scamming you the whole damn time. That's 100% factual right there. Let's see if there's anything else. Somebody else said, Candace, wear purple tomorrow if you've been threatening the silence. Let's go to her main account. See if she posted some bullshit today. Today on the show, this was 32 minutes ago. My long overdue sit down with Erika Kirk. The media begins writing pure fan fiction about me because we're getting close. Tim Pool is gay. I don't know who Tim Pool is, but I believe it. I believe it if you said it. Let's click on this piece of crap. And what we not gonna do, okay, so it started at 4:30. E-Day in Nashville. And why the hell do you got a wedding dress on? And a picture of her. So now y'all besties again? You full of shit. You was full of, what that first person said, it was 100% right. You are full of shit. Let's see what they saying over here. People putting hearts in here. Hope she asked about the handoff, so I don't think she saw the video. People is donating already. I ain't gonna lie, you done hit a lick with this channel though, with the crap you pulling. I can never be mad at a hustler. Let's see what her fans said. Somebody said, apparently Tim Cast is telling his audience that Charlie Kirk's security team was the same as my security team. This is complete. Okay, nobody give a fuck about that. Let's go here. Candace, why did you marry your British husband after just a few weeks of talking on Zoom together? Was it arranged? Probably was. You ask some questions like that. Cinema Shogun said, today on the show, I put a dishonest spin on my meeting with Erika Kirk. 2, I raged out about the media talking about my yeast infection. And 3, I ran about Tim Pool because I have nothing else of true value to offer in the episode. Shout out to Sigma Shogun. Let's see. Everyone waiting for the update since yesterday. I don't. Somebody else said, I bet my left shoe that Candace totally noticed her meeting with Erika was a schedule on the same day as the Toilet Paper USA debunking live stream. She went after the biggest story with Erika and is saving Toilet Paper USA for another episode. This is Chestnut. Say if y'all don't shut the hell up. And what the fuck is the TSUPA debunking live stream that y'all speaking of? Let's see. I want to see what this is. Debunking live stream. December 5th. Turning Point. Times of India. 1 day ago. The Independent. All right. So check this out. This is according to Reddit. No live stream yet proceeds to host debunking live stream. Toilet Paper USA. How is this not poisoning the jury pool? What is they talking about? It says Candace Owens and I are meeting for a private in-person discussion on Monday, December 15th, and I have agreed that public discussions, live streams, and tweets are on hold until after this meeting. Oh, and they saying they still went on live and did it. It's okay. No one trusts or believes them. I just want to hear Candace make sure she's safe. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to be honest. This is very strange to me. What the people that, I don't know, I guess the people that like believe Candace Owens be believing stuff she be saying and stuff, that's wild to me. This whole situation, Candace Owens is one of them people that I feel like you can't trust her like no further than you can throw her or anything. I don't even know what this is a distraction from, because we don't even need distractions anyway. What we need some distractions from? Trump go up and say dumb stuff just out loud publicly. They don't even try to hide the dumb shit no more. So the whole these distractions or something. I tell you what this is. I'm gonna tell you what this is. This is money getting. This is hustling to the highest order of hustling. This is taking attention and just making money out of it. And both of them is playing the same damn game together, teaming up, super teaming, or whatever that, you remember the Super Twins on the Justice League back in the day, where they would put their hands together and turn into something. That's what these two bras is doing right here. I really ain't got nothing productive to say. Actually, I want to apologize to y'all for giving any energy to this, because nothing good is gonna come out of this. Both of them have nefarious reasons for everything they do. Of course, Evil Eyes over there is incarnate of evil and doing government bidding and stuff, and she set up that Gumby dough-faced boy, which I'm be honest, I ain't even mad about that. And then Candace Owens, she the same thing. These is all the same side of the same coin and all of that stuff. Ain't no heroes or villains in this shit. This is just pure bullshittery. And but to be honest, I'm still proud to talk about it. It do kind of be interesting reading how many people do really be invested in this and believe in one side or the other side, when it's quite obvious they are both actresses playing a role and getting paid for it, and both probably getting trained on them by weird looking white dudes, allegedly hyperbole. I'm just believing that. So let's see what you guys in the chat about this. Let us see. Who I bring out? Oh, okay, here you go. So allegedly says Candace breaks silence. Hold on. Keep losing the window. All right. Candace breaks silence. First minute of the clip below. Okay, check that out. Okay, let me click on that real quick, because that will be helpful. Oops, I can't play it right here. Hold on, y'all. Let me come over here. I'm gonna have to put it over. Oh, that was that damn was that tweet, that one tweet that I had passed by and stuff where she was talking? Hold on, where the dude was saying they was just hoping she was safe or something. Let's see, was it this one? Anyway, we gonna go back over the dude video. I was just seeing. I thought I had seen it. All right, let's go to it. And thank you, allegedly, at least.
Faith, and I mean, full question to do a show for you guys this evening, but I am truly exhausted. Very productive conversation. I asked every single question. I mean, from Egyptian planes to Turning Point USA Faith, and I was very surprised by some of the answers that I got, and I think they were also very surprised when I shared certain intel. This probably should have happened a very long time ago, but I wanted to let you guys know that I am alive, and I will have the full rundown for you guys tomorrow of what transpired. And yeah, I think it was definitely a very big step in the right direction. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Reality from unreality.
I don't know.
I want to talk about discernment.
Yes.
Okay. Being able to separate truth from lies, reality from unreality. A 22-year-old man named Tyler Robinson has been arrested and charged with the murder of your husband. And yet there are a huge number of conspiracy theories, you might call them brain rot, that are spreading right now online about the actual story behind the reality. One, people say
that broad is an actress. My gosh, she is fake and evil. She's scared. She's scared. I wouldn't even want her to be at a Halloween party because she too real with the evil.
Husband. And yet there are a huge number of conspiracy theories, you might call them brain rot, that are spreading right now online.
And you hear how they preface some what they want you to think of it. The conspiracies is brain rot. No, Candace might be brain rot, but everybody knows she has something to do with that situation.
About the actual story behind the reality. One, people say that Tyler Robinson was actually a MAGA Republican. Or two, some people say you were actually a Mossad agent sitting in front of me, and you were Charlie's handler, and Israel killed Charlie.
Right.
Other people say that a number of men in the crowd were wearing maroon T-shirts, and this signifies that his killing was an elite airborne operation, whatever that means. They say that the rings on your fingers, which are
my kids' initials, my wedding band, the Medal of Freedom.
What type of gaudy ass shit is that? I ain't go front. She a hood booger. She is an official hood booger to me. No disrespect to any hood boogers out there.
My engagement ring.
But apparently,
wait, what is that one star? This ring right here? No, it ain't no regular ass ring, goddammit. Now I don't know what it is, but that ring right there is not no regular ass shit. And really, to be honest, I don't think these two rings for her kids' names is no regular shit neither. Personally, I don't know for a fact, but because I'm ugly and shit, to be honest, that means something else.
My engagement ring.
But apparently they symbolize some kind of secret plot. There's also a new theory that Egyptian aircraft have been tracking you. What is going on? Why are there so many conspiracies spreading about what seems to be a pretty open and shut case?
This is the first time that we have seen evil on display where we have social media at our fingertips. Something so evil that happened, people are wanting answers immediately. They are wanting to figure out how to wrap their mind around this. Egyptian planes.
Egyptian planes. Do you believe that Tyler Robinson murdered your husband?
Yes, I do.
Why do you think it is so hard for so many people to believe that reality?
Because of Candace Owens. Just keep it real.
Too simple.
Well, no, I don't think it's because I ain't think that looked like some inside shit. I ain't need no punk ass hate herself Candace Owens to tell me that shit. But maybe the other public, he right. Other people probably it was due to Candace Owens, but anybody with a brain do some shit happen in broad daylight, that shit got okayed. Same thing with the Trump assassination attempt. It's very funny how Trump got away where didn't nothing happen to his, we ain't heard shit about that shit, and his ear is perfectly okay with his attempts where they had clear, it was nothing in the way to obstruct that. But with the Charlie Kirk, when they got him out the way, out the paint, it was talk about it, dead eye, buddy. Fuck out here.
Again, everyone always has to think there's more to the story. Well, sometimes there's not. I've seen the autopsy report. I've seen our case pulled together. I've been in constant contact with our lawyers, the prosecuting team. I've seen it all. And let me tell you this. Why in the world, why should we, prior to the trial, lay all of our hands and cards on the table for the defense team to see, to somehow then, I don't even know what they would do with it. But what I will say, and I want to get on the Egyptian plane thing, take a flight on that for a second. What I will say is what I'm worried about, and I'm fascinated, just from a legal standpoint, to see how the United Healthcare trials pans out. And I say that because this is the first time where we are seeing the implications.
You're talking about Luigi Mangione.
Correct. I'd prefer never to say any of their names. They do not even deserve the ounce of oxygen and breath out of my body. But
shut up.
What I mean is it's fascinating to see how social media will impact that court case, just how it might impact mine.
Are you nervous he's not going to get a fair trial?
I'm nervous that there could be, they'll say we can't find a fair jury. Like they're going to taint the jury pool. And in that case,
that's how widespread you think these conspiracies have gone.
What you mean, your case? You didn't get your muffin top peeled back?
Yes.
That's how mainstream they become. Okay.
Egyptian planes.
You want to talk about Egyptian planes?
Okay. I was pregnant for 90% of those trips. Mind you, I've never, all those places they said I've traveled, I've never been. I mean, I've been, but I'm not within those dates that they've.
But you even said you need to address.
No, but this is, yeah, but I do on that one, only because, from a humor standpoint, I intentionally, when I was pregnant, hid. Not because I was embarrassed, not because I didn't want anyone. Yes, we did keep it very private, but it's because it was a moment very sacred. I was growing a human inside of me, my baby. The world that Charlie and I live in is very toxic at times.
Yeah.
And when you are growing a beautiful child in you, I don't want to be around it. I want to enjoy eating my In-N-Out burger and my hot fudge sundae. That's what I want to do. I'm pregnant, and I have 9 months to own it. You really think I'm going to be on an Egyptian plane while I am wanting to be with my In-N-Out burger and my chocolate milkshake? No, I'm not. So if you want to go through my flight log, go right ahead. It's very boring. You say I was here on this date. I have a photo in my phone to prove that I actually was in the hospital because I was having contractions. So game on.
But I ain't go front. And see, this is how you know this is all some bullshit, in my opinion. This is how you know this all some bullshit. There's some orchestrated shit. They in on it. They doing the same shit together and shit. Candace Owens continuously going in about these Egyptian planes when people done already connected Lil Mama to, you know, some extracurricular activities or whatever. First, anything with Saudi Arabia and all that stuff for the Middle East is a hot topic, right? So her just throwing that shit out there is just, this is what you call misdirection, in my opinion. She is throwing all this, and it could be, and don't get it twisted. Also, her using the term, why are Egyptian planes following you? Instead of saying something along the lines of, why are you still, I think she's still associated with the Middle East in certain type of ways. Planes following make it to where people not go believe. So all of the stuff that's coming out about Erika, everybody get to put in the bucket of conspiracy theory. Matter of fact, that's what I think Candace Owens' whole job is to make any shit that come out about Erika be able to be put in the bucket of a conspiracy theory, aka meaning, oh, don't believe that shit. And that's Candace's whole role in all of this shit. All set up. I also believe that she was 100% A-okay with the taking out of her friend or whatever. Because guess what? Candace Owens, you can't trust Candace Owens. She's a flip-flopper. She flip-flops all over this motherfucker. I wouldn't trust her. And if you follow Candace Owens, y'all trust you a stupid motherfucker in my opinion. She do anything. She'll say anything. You can't trust nobody to just say anything. The 1 year she be on this side, next year she be on this side, then she get kicked out of side, and then to go against them and then be their friend again. Get the fuck out of there. Just on some way she handles stuff, she's very untrustworthy. She got talk out of both sides of her mouth and got 15 faces. There ain't even 2 faces. But this is very obvious. They all in this together. It's very obvious. You don't, that's why she posted that picture on her YouTube page of her in a damn wedding dress. If y'all recall correct lie. Let's see, where was it? YouTube, what is it? Candace? Y'all about to mess up my damn algorithm. Now she live. All right, she live right here. Let's hopefully we pass the BS. Let's see what she talking about.
This miracle, the healthy bone, his bone was so healthy and the density was so impressive. Like, this is a quote, by the way. His bone was so healthy. I want to read it. This is allegedly from a surgeon. Quote, his bone was so healthy and the density was so impressive that he's like the man of steel. It should have gone through and through. It likely would have killed those standing behind him too. And we were just like, eeh. That kind of was like the beginning of the WTF, right? I feel like that was kind of the beginning of it. And immediately people in the comments responded to Andrew, and he said, this individual said, this post is so fake as it would violate HIPAA. Like, there's patient privacy. You can't just call up the surgeon. And then Andrew CallWhat replies and says, rest assured, I would not have posted without full permission. Now, he said he spoke to the surgeon, and they confirmed that Andrew spoke to the surgeon, but that they did not know that he was going to write that tweet. They did not know that he called up the surgeon. So, like, it very much came across to be like Andrew was just flying by the seat of his pants. I don't know. Like, he was just flying dark on me. And I was like, that seems very strange to me, because why would a surgeon do that? Like, the first thing the surgeon should say.
All right, you ain't talking about nothing. I want to hear about you and the whole Erika situation. She over here sucking Kirk Angler's balls on his bone density, I'm assuming. I don't know. Also, I'll be honest, it's a bunch of white folks here in this whole thing, which scares me that they will follow this motherfucker. It's some very dangerous shit. We gonna wait a while. We gonna come back over here and see if she mentioned anything about that whole meeting. But I ain't got no time to be listening to her talk about the whole Charlie Kirk thing at this moment. I know this is probably not good for watch time and stuff. People like to be abreast on stuff, but it's like listening to DJ Academics to me. Like, you just go sit and blatantly spout bullshittery. Let me see what y'all talking about on here. What y'all think on? Let's see. So Megan Kelly was there. I know Candace got verbally jumped. What's the business, Royce? What is the business? Tim Pool, even worse. I don't even know who the fuck Tim Pool is. Who the hell is Tim Pool? Tim Pool. I really don't be on that get into their side. And this right here just further lets me know. Yeah, I don't trust white dudes to wear scullies. I won't listen to him at all. Yeah, he looks very, very. I hate food with seasoning. Let's see. Who is he though? Let's see who he is, because I heard he mad at Candace or something. Let's look at this. Jamie Kennedy.
That there is a widespread demonic something going on in this country.
In the world, bro.
In the world. I wonder if that's
in the world, bro. Like, I mean, listen, I'm older than you guys. I grew up in the Catholic Church. I've been in Hollywood for over 35 years. And since COVID, shit's gotten weird.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Charlie Kirk, it was just, my eyes were just, it just
gotten weird. You was in the Catholic Church in Hollywood and shit is just now gotten weird. You in like two of the most evil fucking entities ever and just gotten weird. I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to hear no goddamn temple. Let's see. Yeah, y'all talking about Erika Kirk, her eyeballs? Yeah, that's crazy. We about to move on. Like I said, we'll come back over here to see if she done brought up anything with the other chick. So we gonna move on to the Trump situation right now, where it says that Trump has now labeled fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. So apparently it's a new law now. I'm not going this. Let me show y'all for the first time in a long time. If I see .gov a part of it, I'll be like, I'm not. I click on it though to read the bullshit they gonna put in there. Let's see, this from a day ago. This is a fact sheet. This is a fact sheet. Let's read this shit. It says, defending America from a chemical weapon. Today, Donald Trump signed an executive order designating illicit fentanyl and its core precursor chemical as a weapon of mass destruction. The order directs the Attorney General to immediately pursue criminal charges, sentencing enhancements, and sentencing varieties in fentanyl trafficking cases. We about to do some research because this is sounding very crack down on crack era rules that are coming in. I'm very curious to see who is really out here peddling the fentanyl and stuff. The order directs the Secretary of the State and the Secretary of the Treasury to pursue appropriate actions against relevant assets and financial institutions for those involved or supporting the manufacture, distribution, and the sale of illicit fentanyl and its core precursor chemicals. Precursor chemicals is also very interesting as well. This reminds me of when meth had popped off in Arkansas. I was working at a damn drug emporium. You couldn't sell nobody more than 2 boxes of allergy medicine or something. And then if you worked in a pharmacy and somebody ordered certain, they had to write them down on the list or something crazy like that. And pharmacies getting robbed for allergy medication. The order directs the Secretary of War and Attorney General to determine whether the Department of War should provide enhanced national security resources to the Department of Justice as necessary during an emergency situation involving a weapon of mass destruction. Are you crazy? Are people reading this? I don't think people come in here to read this stuff. That's crazy. The order directs the Secretary of War and the Attorney General to determine whether the Department of War should provide enhanced national security resources to the Department of Justice, who now runs the education system of America, as necessary during an emergency situation involving a weapon of mass destruction. So they get to say what is an emergency. They control all this and be like, yeah, I think we need some stormtroopers down over at Mitchell Elementary. We did see some meth, some fetty. It was a 7-year-old had some fetty in his backpack. We blowing this whole motherfucker up. I ain't gonna lie though, it would be dangerous for a 7-year-old to have some fetty. Be like, on lean on me, be like, boy, don't you smoke crack? Boy, you smoke crack. No. The order directs the Secretary of War in consultation with the Secretary of Homeland Security to update their chemical incident response related directives to include the fentanyl threat. The order directs the Secretary of Homeland Security to identify fentanyl smuggling networks using weapons of mass destruction and non-proliferation-related threat intelligence, stopping fentanyl from poisoning our people. President Trump is unleashing every available tool against the cartels and foreign networks. They have turned fentanyl into the leading cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45. Before we do that, we go ask ChatGPT. Search let's see, health websites, official ones, only ones, official health and death tracking websites. What is the leading cause of death to Americans, period, in order from most deaths to least death. I want to know. All right. Heart disease is the #1 cause of death. They gave an age range. We gonna give it the age range as well, but y'all know me. I like just checking overall. I figured it was some shit that had to do with our diets. Next up, cancer. #3, accidents. And guess what the main ones? It ain't even airplanes. It's cars and shit. The shit that we get into every day. Falls. Just regular falls. Overdoses is on that list as well. So it's like #3. Stroke. Chronic liver. Chronic lower respiratory diseases. Alzheimer's, diabetes, kidneys. Okay. And then #10. Suicide just entered in 2024. All right. So let's ask, what about among, let's see, what about among ages 18 through 45? We gonna see if it come with that. #1 is just drug overdose in general. It says primarily synthetic opioids like fentanyl, so I guess, but it's coming from the CDC. Which, who is head of the CDC? Who runs the CDC? Jim Neal, who was appointed by President Trump. So y'all want me to trust who was appointed by Trump. That's who I'm supposed to trust, is telling the truth about stuff on here. Which, hey, it could very well be true. But it's very hard to trust the person or entity that put somebody in power, shit that they use to control everything else. I'm just having a hard time believing it. And I really do believe that I believe our diets is what's killing us the most over here. But that's what they claim, right? As ChatGPT said it, because the CDC was the source. What was the source of the rest of this shit? CDC was the source of that as well. So guess I'm a hypocrite. I believe CDC on some shit that I believe was that confirmation bias or some shit. Who knows? But let's see. These overdose fatalities outpace many other causes. This is what I'm gonna do right now. I'll be asking ChatGPT questions like this, and we gonna see what it says. All right. I asked ChatGPT, be unbiased based on what you can find online and already know. In general, and this, I like asking questions like this. Should fentanyl be considered and treated as a weapon of mass destruction? And this, y'all, how y'all know I'm real, because even, unfortunately, if ChatGPT say it should, I'm gonna be like, ChatGPT has been infiltrated, you guys. Which, duh. But let's see. But if he say what I wanted to say, then I'm gonna be like, oh, look like they ain't got to it yet. See, just give a yes or no. And if it do say yes, it should, I always ask it why. But I always tell it to give a yes or no question. Let's see. All right. Why? Because fentanyl meets multiple functional criteria commonly used to define a weapon of mass destruction, even though it is not legally classified one. Mass lethality is scale, micro level potency, allows very small quantity, low barrier to deployment. Okay. All right. So what about Oxycontin? You spell it like that? No. Oxycontin is orders of magnitude less potent than fentanyl, does not produce mass lethality at microgram scale. Sustained population level casualties. This is fentanyl again. It causes tens of thousands of deaths annually in the U.S. alone. I'm just not believing it. Let's see. Do more. And I know, y'all, I told y'all my bias. I think it just don't make sense logically based on my own thought process. And yes, if ChatGPT came the other way, I would actually ask it to cite me where it's getting this information from. Matter of fact, let's see. So more people die from fentanyl than alcohol-related deaths, including liver disease and car crashes. Let's see. Let's read what it says. And let's go back to what I asked. Of course, I went to Oxycontin first, but then I thought about alcohol. I said, so more people die from fentanyl than alcohol-related deaths, including liver disease and car crashes. This is based on the CDC data and other official health tracking information. Fentanyl-involved overdoses threats do not exceed all alcohol-related deaths overall in the United States, but they are major contributors to overdose mortality. Here's what the data is showing. Total drug overdoses in the U.S. is about 105,000. Overdose deaths involving synthetic opioids other than methadone, primarily fentanyl, is 72,000. I'm gonna lie, that's a crazy ass number. Alcohol-induced deaths in 2023 were 47,000. And that's like, what, 5 years ago? 3 years ago. If you include broader alcohol-related mortality, motor vehicle crashes, blah, 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 it's 100,000. So direct fentanyl, I wonder, so what counts as a direct fentanyl synthetic opioid overdose? What counts as in what? Wait, who decides that it was an overdose? Due to fatty and what is it? What variables need to be met to classify a death? All right, though. So the medical examiner or coroner is the legal authority who determines it. Their determination feeds into state vital records, which are coded by CDC, NCHS using ICD-10 standards. So it goes to the CDC. Core requirements is a toxicology confirmation. Post-mortem testing detects fentanyl or fentanyl analogs concentrations. Cause of death attribution. Underlying cause or contributing cause. On the death certificate, this maps to ICD-10 codes. T40.4 other synthetic narcotics includes asphyxia with poisoning intent codes, X40 unintentional, and then we got X60 suicide and 8 X45 assault, and then Y10 and Y14. I wonder, exclusion of alternative primary causes, no overriding lethal condition, like a gunshot wound, if fentanyl is present but not causative, it may be noted but is not coded as an overdose. Included as in fentanyl-involved overdoses, fentanyl is listed as the underlying or contributing cause of drug poisonous. Polysubstance cases count if fentanyl materially contributed it, which is like fetty plus cocaine. Not included is fentanyl is detected incidentally and not deemed casual. So variables considered: drug concentrations, route of exposure, co-ingestance, time, course, and response. Okay. Bottom line, direct fentanyl, synthetic opioid overdoses, death where the medical examiner or coroner used toxicology plus scene and clerical evidence certifies. Okay, so they send it to the CDC. Once it gets to the CDC, not do they, but could they make any changes to the report? Yes, they could, but only within narrow standardized limits, and they cannot arbitrarily change the substance or cause once it's certified. What the CDC is standardize the code, the death certificate using the death certificate using the ICD-10 rules, clarify ambiguous wording by applying coding conventions, not by reinvestigating, reclassify intent, unintentional versus undetermined, only if the certificate language supports it, correct clerical or formatting errors. What is considered a clerical error, which is, I know it may be spelling or something, but apply uniform aggregation rules so data is comparable. This work is done by the NCHS medical coders, not policymakers. What the CDC cannot do, they cannot change toxicology results, cannot add or remove fentanyl if the ME coroner did not list it, cannot override the certified cause of death, cannot invent or suppress substances, cannot redetermine manner of death without state authority. The CDC does not perform autopsies, run tox screens, or revisit case files. The only meaningful flex point is if death certificates list drug overdose without specifying substances, or listing multiple drugs without hierarchy. The CDC may code it as unspecified drug poisoning or count it under polysubstance overdose without attributing it to fentanyl specifically. This means fentanyl deaths are more often undercounted, not inflated. Structural constraints: about 5 to 10% of overdose certificates lack specific drug detail. So it says 5 to 10 of overdose lack specific drug detail. The CDC cannot infer fentanyl even if it is statistically likely. If fentanyl is not written, it does not get counted. The CDC can standardize, CDC cannot change, and the system is legally designed. Okay, well, I don't trust legality and shit in that shit. So there's one more question I'm gonna ask, and then we go back and check up on Candace and shit. Let's see. All right. What other substances that are in America today should be labeled as weapons of mass destruction that match the that match fentanyl's definition that are not labeled as such? Okay, let's see. Fentanyl, 100 times more potent than fentanyl, micro-lethal, blah, 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 functionally closer to a chemical weapon, illicit synthetic opioid analogs, emerging non-regulated. I need some names, buddy. Meth. That's what I was looking for. Just any other thing where people OD off of it, or it can be stepped on with all sorts of other shit. I just picked up some meth from the pharmacy. They call this shit Vivans at the pharmacy and shit. But so methamphetamines and alcohol can also be considered on that list, but it's not. Substances that do not meet it is cocaine, heroin, prescription opioids. Use a goddamn lie. Y'all lying right there. Benzos, marijuana, and tobacco. Mass harm, but slow, regulated, and non-deployable. Yeah. But on the list is alcohol and meth. But that should be included, matches the same criteria, but it's not on there. So whenever I do these types of exercises, I just say, okay, what is close to it that they don't add to their list, and then we want to see why. So let's see why would Trump. So I gotta ask this in a way to where it can't tell me something in a way where it's thinking I'm not trying to trick it. So you gotta ask like playing devil's advocate. So play devil's advocate and assume that Trump has other reasons for marking fentanyl as a weapon of mass including political and power grabbing reasons. What would you list? All right, so let's see what it say. Devil's advocate analysis. Non-medical reasons Trump administration might label fentanyl weapon of mass destruction. Emergency powers expansion, which we read over here, where it literally said that the order directs the Secretary of War and the Attorney General to determine whether the Department of War should provide enhanced national security resources to the Department of Justice as necessary during an emergency situation involving weapons. Which, what the fuck counts as an emergency situation? Who gets to say what's an emergency? So that's why I put that. I put that on there. So a reason that he would label that is for the emergency powers expansion. A weapon of mass destruction designation can justify extraordinary authorities, military support, asset seizure. That is crazy. You really got to read this shit. Read between the lines on this shit, y'all. On some real shit. People don't be wanting to do that. That bypass slower civilian processes. Border securitization leverage. Framing fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction elevates border control from law enforcement to national security priority, strengthening arguments for militarization and funding. China pressure tool. Weapons of mass destruction framing sharpens diplomatic and economic pressure on China by recasting precursor flows as strategic threats rather than criminal trade. And we gonna see what this precursor chemical shit mean as well, because that was brought up in the white paper that they put out. Domestic law and order signaling. It dramatizes, toughens, and reinforces a strong executive narrative without needing new legislation. Federal preemption centralizes control over states and localities, reducing resistance from jurisdictions with harm reducing policies. Sanctions elasticity enables broader sanctions on entities, banks, or intermediaries under national security rationales rather than evidentiary criminal standards. Meaning, if they can associate you with a weapon of mass destruction, financing it, or being a middleman for it in any kind of way, they get to skip all of the rigmarole of due process. That's what it sounds like to me. They can shut down a business just because, this bank account bought a large amount of fentanyl in this with your bank, and if they want to get that bank out the bank, that's what it reads to me. Y'all let me know if it doesn't sound the same. Let's continue. It sounds a lot like Homeland Security after 9/11, doesn't it? Because they get to do a lot of shit. A lot of people don't know all of they can throw away a $200 bottle of cologne at the airport. Now, if that's not some illegal shit, or you gonna miss your flight, dirty motherfuckers. Civil liberty trade-offs creates justification for expanded surveillance, which is quite odd. Peter Thiel, if y'all don't know who that is, I think he is the owner of Oracle, who is in the runnings to buy TikTok, who is very pro-surveillance society. Looks like this is lining up in stars of what Peter Thiel would want to be able to have access to, because he's besties with Trumpster. Justification for expanded surveillance searches and interdiction powers under security exceptions. Narrative dominance reframes a public health failure as an external attack. Warfare, deflecting blame from domestic regulatory and treatment shortcomings. Coalition building aligns desperate priorities, migration hawks, defense interests, law enforcement under a single threat label. You see? Budget reallocation facilitates shifting funds from social services to defense, DHS, and enforcement without prolonged debate. And we can never forget, you guys, we can't forget that now the Department of, ain't the Department of Justice now over the school shit? And they already been taking all of the money up out of schools for a year, but now they can be like, we taking all the money because we don't got a separate department for that no more. Yeah, all the shit that was gonna go to education, we fighting fentanyl. You do know that's a weapon of mass destruction, right? So fuck them kids. Homeschool them. And guess what? We won't even come check the curriculum because we want them to be stupid. Maybe am I putting too much au jus on the sandwich of bullshit that they feeding us? You let me know. Deterrence theater signals maximal seriousness to traffickers and foreign actors, even if practical effects are limited. This is the key right here. Practical effects are limited because this ain't to target the traffickers and shit. This is to have more control over us. Legal form shopping moves cases into national security frameworks with more favorable rules, meaning they can just do whatever the fuck. Summary: under a devil's advocate lens, a weapon of mass destruction label can function less as pharmacological classification and more of as a governance accelerant, lacking power, speed, and narrative control that conventional drug policy does not provide. So I'm gonna ask one more question and we go back to the Candace. So just give a number. What are the odds that this new classification will lower Fentanyl related deaths by a large number. Let's see what it says. All right, 25%. And y'all saw what we just read. And that's why when you deal with ChatGPT, you can't never just ask it flat out certain shit, because this is gonna go to the government sites. You gotta ask it to play devil's advocate or shit like that. And I need to shut the fuck up before they start taking that function out. You gotta trick it to tell you shit. And you saw how long that list was. I got it zoomed out. But look at, this was the reasons why it should be, right? In here, I think this is it. Where is it at? Yeah. So this is the reason it was supposed to be a weapon of mass destruction, right? However, the reasons why this is why they would want it to be a weapon of mass destruction ain't got shit to do with deaths. Look how long that is. It's all about control. And it sounds dumb to anybody that just understands what happened in the 80s with the war on drugs, which there are a plethora of resources to do the knowledge on that whole country war and shit with Reagan, which if you really go deeper, there was a bunch of personal shit going on. It was a whole bunch of letters and shit. Reagan did that shit on some whole other shit that people don't even know about. But at the end of the day, they used that as a great excuse to make money on the side selling drugs, blame black people, and be able to kick in the nice people that lived in Californian LA neighborhoods in with tanks with battering rams on them, aka militarize the police forces there. And did I mention all the money they was making selling drugs? Individuals in the government. This weapons of mass destruction shit is sounding like a way to do the Patriot Act in a whole nother way. It bypasses a whole bunch of people that worry about surveillance and government control on us and all of the stuff that they able to do, because I don't really hear nobody else really screaming about it from this point of view. But most of us know that it was some bullshittery, and they continuously passing their shit on for bullshittery. And it's very sad. Let me see what y'all talking about. Then we go get over here back to punk ass, dumbass Candace Owens and shit. What's the business? Friday B Productions. What's the business? Let's see. Friday B Productions says, wow, sounds like Reagan era. Well, this is Reagan era part 2 on some real shit. What's crazy is I was having a conversation with somebody a long time ago. I was like, yo, this is Reagan part 2. But I watched the video and they was like, this was Reagan. Reagan motherfucking, threw up an alley with all of the shit they doing. And this right here is the motherfuckers catching the ball. And then this might be the catch and the slam dunk, but it might be a slam. The next Reagan shit might be the actual slam dunk. But because they be thinking generations down. They don't just be thinking about this election, next election. They be thinking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 elections down. But this one might be the slam dunk, because the way they talking now is like, there ain't gonna be no more elections in this bitch. Especially with all these emergency. Whenever you hear words like this, it is very, very important to understand what the fuck an emergency situation is. Because I'm gonna ask ChatGPT this real quick. Can a president not leave office if a certain emergency situation is at hand in the country of the United States? Let's see what this say. Under the Constitution, there is no emergency, war, national crisis, terrorism, pandemic, or otherwise that allows the president to remain in the office beyond the end of their term. The presidential term ends at noon, January 20th, following an election as mandated by the 20th Amendment. Elections cannot be canceled or nullified by the president due to emergency. Emergency powers, national Emergencies Act, Stanford Act, expand executive authority only while the president is lawfully in office. No statute overrides the Constitution on term limits of succession. If an election were disrupted, the term still ends, succession laws still apply. Speaker of the House, etc. The sitting president does not continue by default. Historical precedent is Civil War, World Wars, Great Depression, 9/11, COVID-19. If none of these cases did a president delay leaving office or claim extended tenure, there is zero legal mechanism for the. All right, so that's a key word because they bolded it, legal mechanism. All right, play devil's advocate. Even though there is no current legal mechanism, is that saying there is no way that could change during Trump's presidency? I want you, playing devil's advocate, to look at all the times Trump has joked about staying president a third term, and all the things Steve Bannon has said, and include the recent, how you spell recent? Recent statement made by, who was that? It was this woman that said that made by a Trump personnel that he will be he will not campaigning, but they said he will be he'll be out during the next primary. All right. So let's see what it say. Devil's advocate. No, it is not accurate to say there is no way it could change. While it is extraordinarily difficult and unlikely, there are theoretical paths that could be attempted during a Trump presidency. None are clean, none are clearly legal, and all would provoke constitutional crisis, which he done already done hella shit that constitutes fucking constitutional crisis in this bitch. What the hell are you talking about, buddy? But impossible is not the same as cannot be attempted. So below is the strongest devil's advocate case grounded in Trump's rhetoric and Bannon strategy talk and the recent loyalist statements. Let's check it out. So, normalization through rhetoric, jokes that aren't jokes. Woo! Trump has repeatedly joked about a third term, said his supporters want him to stay longer. It's called future faking, you guys. Framed constitutional limits as technicalities and publicly tested audience reaction to norm breaking. This is very important, y'all. This is very important. This is some shit that most... I'll be telling y'all I'm a narcissist. Me and my cousin tested this shit out when we was very young. And really, all my homeboys, this might be some Lil Rock shit. Or just... You test shit out with girls to see how far you can go before they be like, no, or get mad and shit. And the further you can go, the better. They might get agitated and you pull back. But over time, you be joking about the shit. Next thing you know, you in a threesome with her cousin, and now she done broke up with you after the fact because she like, oh, I didn't want to even do that shit. You be like, well, you said, okay, fine, I'm going to do it. See, the okay fine part is because you done brought it up over time for about a year and a half, slowly making it not sound as bad or crazy as it should be. But that's what they talking about right there. And that happens to anybody that works on anybody and shit. But this publicly tested audience reaction and norm breaking, and with him having such a loud audience. Hey, oh yeah, allegedly, at least we go to the people denouncing MAGA and shit too. That's on my piece of paper as well. We gonna talk about that. Devil's advocate interpretation. This is an Overton window conditioning, moving an idea from unthinkable to a joke to grievance to emergency necessity. Bannon has explicitly argued this technique. Say it openly, force institutions to respond, weaken taboos. That's why ass eating is rampant, being spoke about publicly now. Back in the day, in 97, you can't go to your homeboy and be like, man, did you eat ass? Damn, for real, you tripping. Back then, you'd immediately, but once it got on the radio, people was talking about I gotta eat the ass like groceries and shit. Next thing you know, I'm pretty sure eating ass is the new getting jacked off and shit in these young kids' lives. I don't know, but we have normalized ass eating. Shit is crazy. Let's continue. This channel ain't gonna never get monetized. Steve Bannon's explicit theory of power. Bannon has repeatedly stated, paraphrased, but consistent, the system is in a fourth turning emergency. Normal constitutional processes are insufficient. Executive authority must be maximized. Executive authority, meaning fuck the judicial and fuck the legislative. The administrative state must be broken, not reformed. And see, when they say broken, people think, yeah, we need to break the system that's holding us all down so we can all get money. No. That's not the type of breaking that they talking about. But people really think they talking about breaking it for the people. That's not why they doing it. They breaking it to have absolute power. Devil's advocate reading. Bannon's framework is not about legality first. It is about power first, legality second, justification third. He openly speaks about stress testing constitutional guardrails, not respecting them. Another example. That's what the fuck I be doing at jobs. I come in and I'm gonna be honest, I do good a little bit in the interview. I'm a superstar, but once I get there, I be like, let me find a motherfucker who been here the longest and do shit the wrong way. And let me see what the fuck be going on. Then once I learn what the real rules is, like what I really can get the fuck away with, I just sit in the cut, get my Wally on. Shout out to Dilbert, not the motherfucker who writes Dilbert. I found out that motherfucker is a racist asshole, but the comic is still very relevant to IT workers. But that's what he's talking about. You stress test the system, see what you can get away with. And that's how they rolls. Emergency reclassification strategy. Key point. If fentanyl or something similar is framed as a weapon of mass destruction, framed as a foreign attack, or framed as an existential national security threat, then a president could argue the country is under asymmetric warfare. Elections themselves are vulnerable to disruption. An extraordinary extraordinary continuity, y'all know the goddamn word, measures are required. Meaning it just need to stay the same as it's been, like continuum. This would not be constitutional, but Devil's advocate is about attempts, not success. Then legal gray zone exploitation, not overt cancellation. No serious strategist would say, I'm canceling the elections and I'm staying. But a devil's advocate path would look like the election proceeds, but is declared compromised, which that's why he stayed crying about the election was stolen last time. Conditioning motherfuckers to be like, oh, they can't be trusted. And you know that motherfucker be like, yo, we need 15,000 recounts and shit. So it'd be recounts going on from the January 19th to goddamn forever if it's up to him. Oh, I don't trust these motherfuckers. You know, Next thing you know, he do a recount, but the motherfuckers who in charge of recounts, the government done found 47 tons of fentanyl in their goddamn basement, in one of their basements. Next thing you know, oh, they compromised. They walking around with weapons of mass destruction. You see what I'm saying? On some real shit. Competing slates of electors again. Court deadlock or delay. Congress paralyzed, which we see how that shit be happening. And executive claims temporary continuity. Y'all know the goddamn word. I know the word. Continuity. Necessity. This mirrors January 6th logic, but extended and normalized. Number 5, personal statements about being put in. You referenced a recent statement by a Trump-aligned figure suggesting he would be put in during the next primaries. Devil's advocate interpretation. Language reflects moment thinking, not constitutional thinking. Assumes legitimacy flows from support, not process, and echoes authoritarian transitions elsewhere. Caretaker, protector, continuity leader. Even if sloppy, the language matters. It signals comfort with extra procedural outcomes. Constitutional erosion matters more than law. The Constitution only works if courts enforce it, military refuses unlawful orders, states certify results, and Congress asserts itself. And this is something else that people is crazy to me. He has been getting motherfuckers out the paint in the other 2 branches of the government. All of the judges scared of him. Judge's house is just blowing up in the middle of the day when some shit he didn't want to happen. 1 + 1 = 2 in my book. Military refuses unlawful orders. People being refusing unlawful orders, guess what? They either resign or they quit. But the whole army ain't quitting. It just be people in certain places. If the right people get in the right place and willing to take any type of rob, or really most of them folks don't even want to do it for the money, they want to do it for the power. Boom. We get the right people in place, they go like, I don't think the military's orders are wrong. It just happened in Metroid Prime 4. State certifies results. I was in Florida when Jeb Bush rigged that shit for motherfucking his little brother. They lost our votes. I was out there. I was in Orlando, Orange County. And everybody was like, yo, we didn't want this Bush motherfucker. But then all our votes got lost. The fuck? And that set me. I still voted, but I never trusted that shit ever again. And then Congress asserts itself, and we be seeing how motherfuckers flip-flop and belly-flop back and forth off of that motherfucker. Devil's advocate risk is not Trump alone. It is loyalists in key choke points, delayed rulings, conflicting certifications, and information chaos. And the final conclusion is there a legal mechanism today? No. Could one be lawfully created quickly? Almost certainly no. But could an attempt be made anyway under emergency framing pressure and norm erosion? Yes. Would it succeed? Extremely unlikely, but not zero. And that's all I need to hear. The real risk is not a clean dictatorship. The real risk is prolonged constitutional paralysis where power is exercised while legality is sorted out. And that's the thing, y'all. That's why I said earlier that the Reagan was the alley-oop and the Trump administration is catching the ball. The slam dunk go come later. Trump might not be able to do the dictatorship now, but the way they are eroding everything and setting up these precedents and normalizing all this fuckery, it might not be this month, but the next one be like, yeah, you do know I'm changing the name from president to king of America now. I want y'all to know that. And yeah, I got a crown and everything. Y'all motherfuckers are fucked. My son is going to be next in line because ain't no more elections. And we are going to find his bride on a new game show that I've created called Who Wants to Be the Next Queen of America. Will be showing on ABC Sunday nights because we live in idiocy now. Or idiocracy now. Or whatever the fuck. Let me see what y'all talking about. Now we about to go back over to Candace Owens, and then we go to the MAGA people that's, what's the word that we was looking at? They are now denouncing MAGAnism and shit. We go over there. We go see what y'all talking about first though, real quick. Hey, Biddy in the house. What's up, OG? Legend Lee says, Super, this is an executive order to move into war with Venezuela for oil, friend. It's Bush 101. They always want the oil. And I don't know about y'all. I don't think we running out of, they say we supposed to be out of oil by 2030 or some shit like that. I don't believe so. And I be thinking I think it's even deeper than oil, because apparently China and a couple of other countries and shit been trying to get their Gaddafi on and move back to a gold standard and shit. Apparently, even America done got a lot of the gold that they have held up in London being flown back over here. So I think it's more so not just necessarily oil, but trying to keep America's currency, the petrodollar, as the default exchange, the default currency of the world. I think it's kind of deeper than just the oil shit. But I agree with you on that. I think it's just even more with that, with all the other shit that's mixing off in the back, for sure. For sure. L Bitty said, exactly, allegedly. It's super frustrating to seem, especially when you've lost somebody this garbage. Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy. That's why I'm waiting to 80 for my experimentation and shit. Because if I got to go out the first try, I at least want to be done with life. You know what I'm saying? But they want to be put pull-up bars in airports. Who the hell want to put the pull-up bars in airports? That's some real shit. Let's see. Pull-up bars in airports. Oh, fuck yes, pull-up bars are being installed in some U.S. airports as a part of a new initiative by the Trump administration. I knew RFK's stupid ass name was gonna be associated to promote healthier travel, funded by $1 billion in grants for fitness areas, kids play zones, and better food options. Get the fuck out of here. And look, of course, they did it at the goddamn at a Reagan National Airport was the first place they put that shit in. The fuck is that? How about y'all put some of them pay beds in that bitch? Can we get some pay bed? Really should be free, but that's all right. That's either here to put a pay bed in the motherfuckers. Some of them incubators and shit. Goddamn, who I don't want to sit next to a musty motherfucker. And sadly, it ain't no pull-up bars in that bitch. And sometimes you still sit to a musty motherfucker. Now they want to increase the chances of mustivity on the flights. Get the fuck out of here. Nasty motherfuckers. Let's see. The fuck they want now? The camera inside us? They do. I really believe that. Giving Clan want to be Stephen Miller and Giving Clan wannabes Stephen Miller and Hegsith more control. Hell yeah. And shout out to motherfucking South Park for shining a light on that. Sadly, they fan base, at least on YouTube, like, oh, it's getting too political and shit. Y'all need to hear that shit. Y'all trying to run away from goddamn reality. Them motherfuckers, one thing about South Park, they don't run from that type of shit. And they, for the most part, be on the right side, usually when they give their commentary. But yeah, they went in on Hegseth and had him and Trump and all the motherfuckers looking like buffoons. Let's see. So now your local drug dealer is a terrorist who can be held without due process indefinitely, indubitably. Yes, that's exactly what the fuck this shit is. On some real shit. I couldn't have said the shit better my goddamn self. That's exactly what the fuck this shit is. Matter of fact, you said it much more succinctly and clearly. I really fucked up not saying that shit that way. In the end, it's about control. It's always about control. You are 100% right. Honestly, if Trump was politically savvy, he would have lowered marijuana to Schedule 3 or taken all possible criminality parts out of that immediately or before making this switch. See, but you use the word savvy. That's not. No. Do you see any Rico Suave in that? There's no Rico Suave over there. And see, that's the thing though. They don't give a fuck. Ain't no more distractions. I had said that shit earlier and shit. What about cause I was like, oh, you know, the I almost said Tamar Braxton. The Candace Owens situation and shit. I usually be like, oh, they trying to distract. They don't give a fuck about distractions no more, LL Bitty. They just out here doing shit. Just out here. These motherfuckers is, now they Kanye West and the Bianca Censori broad. They just they just getting head in the mandala now. They don't give a damn. Ain't no more hiding this shit. And he never really hid the shit. He ain't hide the shit when he was running for this motherfucker. None of him or his contemporaries did. Royce Me said, Contra game hits different again. It's Contra meets Bush era wars. 100%. 100%. Bert Beatty says, I guess a few restrictions that were recently lifted were for that purpose. Dizam. Hey, it is insane. All of this shit is RoboCop. We are literally being OCP'd up in this bitch. At this point, I think it's less about him going beyond 4 years and more about completing Project 2025 and other Klan plans as much as possible, especially if he is demolished, if he is in the demolished condition going forward. 100%. This is about framework being placed in. 100%. And he's not touching that white girl coke because that's what his son is on, allegedly. And the reason he has no control over his bathroom situation like Cincinnati, you know. I wish I had a goddamn snow button. But you know, all of them, they walk around the White House with these on. They walk around with these motherfuckers on. Cause you can't go out saying the dumbass shit you saying, not sober. Not sober. You can't live that type of life soberly. You can't walk around with hairpiece that ain't even connected to your skull soberly. What? Ain't no way. At least this almost feel like he is helping certain preferred drug paths rush. Yes. Hey, we go the Venezuela pipeline. We shutting y'all shit down. But hey, Russia, come on, let's go on and put more drugs on the military planes with the fallen soldiers for the next war, just like they did in Vietnam. Them Vietnam planes wasn't nothing but drug mule planes, which is hella fucked up because it was blatant in fucking the Denzel movie, but it's really now just hitting me because I've been doing research on the Vietnam War and I found out a whole bunch of extra shit, but that part of it didn't get pulled into my research. But now that's also showing that that's all that shit was. Vietnam War was fucked up when you do the research on that shit. That's not just an Arkansas thing. That's a man thing. We call it a ninja. We call that a ninja. I can't say on here often. Wait, I can't say on here. Well, yeah, that's just manipulation 101. Anybody for all sorts of shit. That's how dudes was conditioned to spend 3 months salary on a goddamn piece of stone that is not really rare at all by the beers company. They put that rhetoric out there. 3 months salary for a rock for your wife and shit. That was the same shit. That shit is that shit. They do it to all. That's why I'm still buying damn toys 20 years later and shit, because I got conditioned because the commercials like, you gotta have it. I was like, bitch, mama, I gotta have it. You heard the very excited white man, which now that I'm thinking about it, all of them TV announcers was coked up. He consistently float ideas to see how they'll be received. That's just coming. He's been doing, just throwing out shit. So let's see. Because once he found out that people was okay with saying grab him by the pussy and shit, he was like, oh, I got it now. You know I can do whatever the fuck I want to. Did you hear what came out? I can literally say whatever the fuck I want to. And that's really how it worked, though. That's why you got to come out saying the craziest shit, so it's normal for you. That's why Ray J still popping. We don't give a fuck, because we didn't heard him say the craziest shit. This nigga was on the radio at 7 o'clock in the morning talking about booty goons. Ray J can say whatever the fuck he want to. You make it past saying some shit like that. Booty. There's no video of the head of ICE giving out his personal coin like him on horse or some Nazi looking shit. There's a video of the head of ICE giving out his personal coin like him on a horse or a Nazi looking shit. Personal coin. Let me see what this shit is. Let's see. I was supposed to caught up with my teammate. I'll catch up with them later. Let's see. What the fuck is this shit called? Oh, ICE head giving out personal coin. ICE Poseidon. No. Oh, head of ICE. Let's see. Keep the caravans causing traditional challenge. Coins are a military and law enforcement tradition of recognition. All right, so give me the damn image, god damn it. Well, damn it. What's the head of ICE name? His name is Todd Lyons. All right, Todd Lyons gives coin. Let's see. Democratic senators moved to block Trump's $1 coin from Treasury Mint. That's the fuck y'all standing on. Why y'all ain't blocking all this other dumbass shit? I don't give a fuck who on the goddamn. Who the fuck money ain't. Who the fuck still carrying cash besides blade walkers and strippers? Yeah, I guess some drug dealers, but a lot of drug dealers you just Apple Cash them motherfuckers for that 3.5. Oh, damn Klansman looking motherfuckers. Let's see. That's that what's your Roman Empire shit. Yeah, I was hoping that I wouldn't be here when the flames came up around us, but looking like I might be. That's messed up. Now it's gonna be hard for me to find some 50 so I can just exit out of this bitch stage left immediately. Yeah, fascism. A lot of people don't know what the fuck that is. And then they demonize Antifa and call it a terrorist group. And it's like, do you know do y'all know what fascism is? That's because you will never be at the top where you think you gonna be. That's why people think the system we in is cool. Cause everybody is programmed to think they gonna get to the top of the system one day and shit. Regret story. Hell yeah, allegedly at least, man. You was almost tried to press the button for the claps and shit. Ain't no damn button that exists over here for that shit. Let me go on there and click on that. I'm glad you said some shit. And before we jump on that, I'm about to check on that punk ass Janis Joplin broad. Not Janis Joplin. What's her damn name? Her name is something. Candace Coonage.
I am
Candace Coonage. All right, so this her shit right here. Let's see what the fuck. Go refresh it. Okay, so of course she done privatized this shit. What's going? Okay, here you go. So
I did not get this from everybody. Mothers are given hope so hard.
Shut up.
As I did
Shut up.
Can lead to suspicion.
Who is that?
I was right. Like, oh,
go to what the fuck you talking about. God damn it. Let me put this damn app on this motherfucker. Let's see. Keywords everywhere. We go install this damn keywords everywhere real quick. Brave extension. And we go get a we go get the damn we go get the synopsis of what this motherfucker said in this piece of shit video.
And
hopefully they
then
able to get it.
Mikey McCoy N.
All right, let's see. Optimize ChatGPT. Where should we begin? Let's see if it give it. All right, here we go. So do this. Got all the info in it. That's not the info I wanted. Damn it. I want. Oh, they can't summarize it because probably it just ended and shit. Yeah, they ain't got the summary. All right, so let's just read the damn comments and shit. Then we go to the TikTokery. All right, it says 4.5 a conversation, and yet we the people are still confused as fuck. That's taking a long time. What about asking why Mikey got on the phone without even dialing the number and then walked away casually before Charlie even hit the ground? Are you seriously gonna glaze over that? Have you even considered that perhaps he had two phones? How can Candace believe call logs that they probably made up? She just simply said, okay, cool, clarified. But the call logs they gave, literally, I don't give a fuck. It's a big club and we aren't in it. This person knows what the business is. Should have been a live conversation, not private. Her husband was assassinated live on TV. The FBI has somehow allowed her to keep his phone? Hey, that is facts. She never forensically combed through his phone to find every single message he sent and received and every message after seek the truth in over 3 months? Nah, hard pass on that one. Total BS. If she took over his possession, I agree. She should have joined those Signal and Telegram chats, which would have led her to see his old Telegram. Which would have led her to want to see his old Telegram and Signal chats. Well, this was weird. Mikey's call logs don't match with the video of him. Just like politicians, talk smack in public and then actually being cordial behind closed doors and not being transparent. That is what the game is in totality. Not to be on the both sides. The both sides shit is dangerous. It's very dangerous. Because, yeah, same or two birds, but when somebody presents you two options, you always want to choose the least fucking you over the two options. And unfortunately, now it's time for me to be. They always go pick the motherfuckers. The illusion of a choice is just that, an illusion. But we as humans need hope. So but hope is some bullshit too. I gotta put that out. That's the only bad thing I hate talking about this shit. It always leads me back to reality of, hey, do your best to live your best life. Outwardly speak against injustice and things of that nature, but when it comes to this system, understand it's just that, a system. That's why Andre 3000, we not go get another rap album from Andre 3000. He know what the fuck business is. But anyway, so it's very dope that all of these people have realized, at least in these comments, that she full of shit. But it ain't gonna stop her from getting the views and shit, because she knows how to spin a good tale. People love a good story. People love good storytellers. And that's what she does. She has a great MacGuffin, Charlie Sheen's death or whatever the fuck. And so does Charlie Kirk's wife, which they remember motherfuckers probably had a 2-minute conversation. I can't find my goddamn phone, but the conversation went like this. Oh my gosh. These people are so stupid. I know, like, God, are you gonna go get nutted on in the face by all of the top people tonight? Are you? Oh, you went this morning. Oh, I'm going twice. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I love being a dirty little whore. All right, hope you have a good time on your live tomorrow. Bye. But that's exactly how that conversation went. We ain't talk about none of this shit. And look at us talking about it. They be do good at doing their job. All right, we about to move over to the link that was provided by the wonderful, allegedly Elise. Let me make sure I copied and pasted it correctly. It is, let's see. Yeah, let's see if this is it. This is the exact link.
I am a wrestling coach in Iowa, mother of 4. I voted conservative. The craziest thing has happened to me a few weeks ago, and I really feel the need to share it from the position of a very pissed off conservative Christian woman. I almost died. I almost died because I was denied medical care here in Iowa after being diagnosed with a fatal fetus. So my baby was not going to make it. There was no chance of it. We got multiple opinions. No chance. No chance. Shortly after that, my health started to rapidly decline, and I was not able to seek care in a timely manner or nearly at all. I was told to miscarry at home or wait it out or ask Google what to do when I asked where could I go for a resolution to my problem. So I had a fetus in me that's poisoning me from the inside out. I have 3 healthy, lovely children at home, a business to run, a husband, and I'm not allowed to choose me? Where's the pro-life in that? Pro-life, like, choose me, choose the mother. We're completely forgetting the mother in this situation. At no point should a dying fetus have more precedence in a healthcare system over a healthy mother who's contributing positively to society. Like, my God, please help us. This is not what we voted for, you guys. This is not it. Doctors should not be afraid to.
Oops. Hold on, y'all. My bad.
It's that they are afraid. Mother who's contributing positively to society. Like, my God, please help us. This is not what we voted for, you guys. This is not it. Doctors should not be afraid to do their job. And that is the case here in Iowa. It's not that they don't want to help us. It's that they are afraid to do their job and save our lives. Politics and religion have no place in healthcare. They have no place on my body, on my health.
My wife almost died last week. I'm a legal immigrant, resident, and future citizen, and I live in Des Moines, Iowa. I come from a very religious, even conservative and traditional country, but we were wronged here by the medical system, influenced by the politicians. Our baby was dying. There was no hope. The logical step would have been to terminate the pregnancy to save my wife's life. Doctors, out of fear of getting sued, refused that, influenced by the politicians and propaganda. I had to rush her to the hospital, in which it took 2 hours for us just to see the doctor after she experienced hard chest pains and could barely walk. We didn't even get to grieve our own baby because we had to fight for the life of my wife. And we had to fight on our own because doctors weren't even allowed to tell us what to do or where to go. I really hope that no other family doesn't have to go through anything that we went through. So that's why I want to send a message to anyone listening that we need to stand up for what is right. I have 2 kids with my wife. She has 4 kids altogether. All of those kids would have been heartbroken. Her lives would have been changed forever if my wife got sepsis and died because doctors refused to treat her and terminate a baby in pregnancy that was gonna die 100%. We prayed, we did everything right. We are healthy people, but yet we were cornered by the medical system and we were cornered by the government. Healthcare shouldn't be political. Once human lives are in danger, just how my wife's life was in danger, politics needs to stay out.
All
right, so this is what I'm gonna do before I tell y'all my super thought process about it. Let me see if this works. That's what y'all sound like. Y'all crying over some shit y'all brought upon yourselves. What the fuck? They told y'all that the fetus is more important than anything else in they thought process. They told you. old buddy go started off. Oh, then Lil Mama said, I'm a contributing mother, bringing positivity to society. No, you didn't. You voted for hella people's life to get fucked over. It just so happened to fuck your life over because you thought you didn't count because you thought I'm white. I thought I was gonna be okay. I thought it was just for the niggers and spics is what you thought. You probably thought Asians too. You probably included them in there, but you like Chinese food. So you was hoping that your local Chinese person wouldn't go get their dough kicked in. And your husband was hoping that the local massage parlor that he goes to wouldn't go get their dough kicked in as well. But I digress. Now I gotta be honest. Y'all know me, how I look at stuff. We gonna go look at some more of these, but it's hard for me to believe that people who really voted for these motherfuckers really would have a moment like this of vulnerability and openness online. Like, for real. Like, I love laughing at people that really regret their shit, but for them to be dumb enough to vote, it's just, are these real? Because I don't believe that they have the self reflectiveness in them to really come on here and get their back kicked in. And then also, sadly, while I'm down here playing the in this play called Reality and shit, one of the choices I made in here is, once I feel like you done crossed me, you can't cross back over. No, you are not Allen Iverson. You can't be over here then come back over, then want to come back over here. No, I'm treating it like they treated Allen Iverson's crossover in the league. It's banned. Once you done told me, hey, let me find out at work that somebody that was my work friend for years, we finally had we met our quota numbers pizza party, and they had a vote for whether we was gonna order Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, or something. Hey, I get the people who didn't vote for Little Caesars. I don't hate you because I understand the stigma, even though I'm a Little Caesars pizza hater. But if I find out you voted for Domino's, hell, hey Superman, my car broke down. I need a ride from work. Call Domino's, bitch. Yeah, I found out you voted for Domino's, hoe. No, hell no, I ain't giving you a ride, Curtis. I thought you was better than that, bitch. You never coming back over. So I really don't feel no sympathy for them and shit. Then she talked about all the time she was gonna die. On top of that, she's still alive. She's still alive? I don't know. Now, I don't use TikTok regularly, so I don't know what's gonna pop up the next time I swipe down. Apparently, it's supposed to learn what you like watching and shit. So, I like cheeseburgers. So I don't know if it's gonna be a foodie review afterwards, or it might be ass, because they assume that I'm gonna want to look at ass. So we go test it out, see what it shows.
There's a lot of money stacked up against clean water and clean air, and it's
okay. They ain't talking about the same shit. All right, so let's see what the folks said in the goddamn post. She's on Facebook. Jessica DJ Ukanovic. Dujanovic. This is her recent post. It says, relieved that I'm all clear medically, emotionally still processing it all, mentally trying to wrap my head around all the liberal hate I've been getting for speaking out about this. Because you wanted this. The fuck? You don't get no goddamn points where you be like, oh, you guys, I wanted everybody else to suffer, but I ended up suffering. I'm sorry. No, bitch. No. Today, ironically, while at my OB appointment, I guess my vid went viral on TikTok, and the yahoos have been coming out of the dark corners of the internet to tell me I got what I deserve for being Christian or conservative. You see how she said dark corners? She meant niggas. That's what the fuck that meant. Y'all know I loathe the politics, hate, despise, bane of modern society, fall of humanity. Bitch, you said you was a loyal conservative and you voted for the other side. You can't loathe politics. You took your ass to the goddamn, you was proud of that shit and took your ass down there. What the fuck are you talking about? See this double talk shit they be trying to pull? Both sides crazy in my opinion. The extremists have lost their damn minds. Here's a stance. Politics and religion have no place in healthcare. Stay in your lane. And yes, I still believe in God despite my trials. As for voting, I'm leaving this crazy ass place. Why the fuck you vote to show us that cloudy ass goddamn damn, that ain't even Sam's Club. They got that shit at the goddamn pawn shop and shit. Dirty wench. Yeah, no, this ain't hate. You hate it. Your vote was hate. Your vote was hate against a motherfucker who clearly was targeting certain demographics. At least that's what you thought. You thought that his rhetoric was for certain demographics because how he framed the shit. But everybody was trying to tell y'all, you do know that even though he's saying fuck these people over here, the shit that they saying fuck these people is gonna affect you too. You are in those people. Do you not understand that? You think it's okay because this motherfucker is wrapping it in a white sheet with a swastika on it and shit and 2 holes for eyeballs on it. You thinking that's a great gift to wrap that shit in. But guess what? You open it up, surprise. You too, motherfucker, because you was a brokey. Motherfuckers look at you as a brokey. You millionaire. You net worth. My net worth is worth $1 million. You's a brokey to them too. If you ain't got $2 billion and shit, all of the shit they passing is for your ass too. Okay. Yes, you $5 million year. Yes, you too. You not a part of the club. Huh? Dude, I don't know if people know this. That in them circles, they don't consider motherfuckers rich or even wealthy below 100 million. Like, for real. Do your Googles. People think just because they make 300 a year before taxes and shit, they up there with the clan and shit. No, you're not a part of that shit. You are a buffer zone motherfucker. That's what they get. That's what your ass get. You damn right. That's why the people saying that's what your ass get. You goddamn right. And I ain't go front. I was thinking it was some bullshit till we got to this Facebook shit. Which also, this is why I hate Facebook. People be putting their feelings and shit out here. Anybody want to read that shit? I want to see old school cheesecake and banana pudding recipes by elderlies if I log on Facebook. Not seeing people complain about their dumbass decisions they made. So fuck off the internet. Let's see what else we can find. All right, so we go look for, what is it? MAGA regret. Yeah, let's see if we can find some MAGA regrets, recent ones.
We're back. Hottest economy. We've never been better. Reports out today that in record numbers, people are having their power bill. They can't pay the power bill. They're having the power shut off. They can't pay for it. How bad is this going to get? I often wonder. Like, he is so out of touch with America.
Eric, it was an open book test. What tipped you off that Donald Trump, the billionaire, was completely out of touch with the average American struggle? Was it the fact that he didn't know what the word grocery meant? That it was some archaic word and he's surprised we still use it? Because he's never been grocery shopping, bro. Or was it the fact that all of his properties are lined in legitimate gold? Was that it? Was that the one, Eric? You guys literally wanted to overthrow democracy for this guy because you were so worried that trans people were taking a shit in the wrong bath.
Now still, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would be very upset if my daughter came out the bathroom and was like, Dad, I think there were some ball hairs on the toilet. I really do. At least get them chopped off before you go into the... I'm all for everybody living how they want to. I'm just saying. Any goddamn way. I'm just joking. No, I ain't joking about that part. Please. please chop off the balls. Please do that. If you go all the way, any goddamn way. As you see, this person down here does not look like he has ever been to the dentist, because I don't believe he has any teeth.
Record numbers.
Let's click on this one.
Mr. Brown, it's my understanding you also voted for President Trump.
Yes, sir.
Why did you vote for him?
Because I was an idiot.
Can you be more specific?
The 80% of the evangelical Christian people were lied to, if you really want to know the truth, and that's exactly what happened. They said criminal, and I believe criminals need to be off the street.
I just want to make sure people watching this understand who you are.
Well,
and who Donna
criminals need
is.
to be off the street, and I agree with that.
They're not
That's
criminals.
what's sold. Correct. But if you watch the news channels even today, they're talking about all the heinous criminals that they're getting. And truth be told, there's been about 800 actual criminals that they've gotten off the street.
Look, please, will you stop using the word criminals? Just say Mexicans and niggas by default. I don't even have to include niggas. We all know that's what the fuck y'all really. They finally go get the niggas out of here. So I'm so happy. Mexicans too? Yes. Combo meal. What the fuck y'all thought it was? I'm checking out your link right here.
I'm pissed off.
Allegedly, at least. Let me check this one out.
After getting an email last night from Blue Cross that my insurance, my Affordable Care Act insurance for my family of 3 is going from $600. They're just going to go ahead and draft the new price, which is $2,400 out of my account on December 31st. And the fuck they're not. I had to cancel my fucking health insurance, which my family is a family that has high cost medical needs. So that's fucking awesome. Thanks, guys. Good job. I'm pissed.
Shout out to her for calling it the actual name, Affordable Care Act. That's what the fuck. But y'all let the motherfuckers run with the Obamacare. Do y'all know and I think still to this day, it's hella them motherfuckers think them is 2 separate program plans. You see, folks, Obama didn't have time trying to get his ego stroked by naming shit after himself. Okay? All right? He named it some shit for what the fuck it was. Okay? But y'all ran with the okie doke that y'all's narcissist choice who put his name on the stimulus checks for the COVID, that he had y'all running outside drinking bleach, telling y'all, ain't no goddamn, this is no fucking invisible virus floating around for you motherfuckers who have high risk diseases and shit. Hey, drink you some bleach and you won't catch the cum flu. Y'all listen to that motherfucker, he go give you a check, which caused major inflation. But we not gonna even get into that shit, because I cashed both of them checks. And I'm gonna be very honest with you. The system's so fucked up, I shouldn't have got them. But I did. I qualified for them hoes. And it's a fucked up ass situation. Shout out to her though and shit. Let's see, what was this other link you put up in this bitch? Let me see. Get out of my dreams. Get into my car. I wonder what Billy Ocean doing. Billy Ocean probably somewhere kicking it real hard and shit. Let me see.
Every American that's having trouble with this, I am sorry I voted for him. I regret it with all my heart. I feel like I've enabled this monster to destroy democracy, destroy everything that is good in this country.
We've got a very crazy man driving the train, and he's going to kill this country.
And Anthony, are you voting a straight up and down Democratic ticket?
Not only there, I am actually for the very first time contributing across the board, across the country. And I've never, ever written a check or spent any money on anything political because I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
I've been a lifelong Republican since the day I turned 18. For the first time in my life, I'm going to vote a straight Democratic ticket. Is if they're connected to Donald Trump, they are not connected to me.
So you now are no longer a Republican.
I am not, no.
Because of Donald Trump.
Because of Donald Trump, it was no longer the party that I joined. It's morphed into something that's almost unrecognizable.
You were a lifelong Republican.
Right.
If somebody had told you, say 15 years ago, that you are preparing to vote a straight up and down Democratic ticket in the midterms, you would have said what to them?
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
So why are you now doing it?
To see Republicans not stand up to him, and the ones that do are just quitting.
I just think there's no values left anymore. There should be values. We have no values. He doesn't have any values. I thought he had values.
No, I'm definitely voting Democrat. I've been knocking on doors. I got a clipboard.
You're even canvassing.
I am canvassing for a Democrat
That's
in
how
Wyoming.
strongly you feel.
I believe hardly anything the president says, but I do believe he's a danger to this country and to our democracy.
Oops.
And that's very dangerous what they saying. And that's actually, that clip I'm gonna be honest, I think they put that clip out there. That is a form of propaganda, because see, what they not telling folks is, instead of saying, hey, I'm gonna actually read what these people are proposing and what I'm not just gonna listen to what the fuck they say. I'm gonna go read all of this shit and say, instead of saying that's what I'm gonna do next time, they saying, oh, I'm gonna just go vote Democrat. The problem with that is, don't just go run to the other side of the street without reading whatever signs is over there as well. That's the main, that is not education that they are spouting. That's, oh, dude, I got burnt on this side, I'm gonna go get burnt on this side. But what people need to be saying is, look, I didn't understand what the fuck I read because I didn't read shit. I'm gonna start reading and then asking people that's smarter than me what this actually means for me. Also, I really did think it was gonna hurt segments of people that I inherently have been taught to hate since day one off in this motherfucker. And I acknowledge that that's why I chose that shit. And that's a daily battle, because you can't just erase, I'm racist. No, that's like saying, oh, I just don't crave cocaine. No. You got it's a daily thing. You got to, just like I be telling y'all, I'm narcissist. I have to wake up every day and be like, look, I'm not going to be a horrible person to people, no matter what my default setting is. I'm like, that's something you daily have to work on. This right here is not helpful to other people. Matter of fact, this is trying, instead of looking at everything as a whole, this is further pushing the, oh, well, you know, the other side is bad. No, that's why if you go back through all my videos, and I try not to use the word Republican or Democrat without a caveat before seeing that, because it technically the both sides shit, let's speak, is what it is. However, when you are presented two choices, please do your research about the choices you are being presented and be real on why you are choosing those choices. It don't matter what the name of the group is and shit. See what the fuck is really behind the curtain. Don't just go by what the fuck the light they done shined on the curtain. Be like, oh, this the fuck all the minority show and shit, but not peek behind the curtain and be like, okay, let me read the program fully. Because, you know, Brenda said the program was just go get rid of them, but I looked on the second page. My diabetes medicines go up too. I thought it was just gonna be the blackies, but that's not true. I'm glad I read the program. Read the goddamn program. Okay, don't let people just get you on some they hate what you hate rhetoric, because that's what this was really about. It's like, oh, that motherfucker hate the shit I hate. The fuck? You goddamn right on. Damn, skip me. I'm voting for that motherfucker. And everybody I done, because I ain't met nobody that said they voted for him. Not this go around. I knew some motherfuckers before and shit. We would have very, very heated debates. I always end up in yelling, but I could always respect them Cause most of the time they came with some honesty and shit. But this time ain't nobody outwardly done said that shit. Which further lets you know that people are, you made a choice you ashamed of. But you claim the majority of the country wanted it to be like that, but you ashamed. But this shit right here to me is, I want more of, hey, read, learn the laws, learn the history of shit, learn why minorities be telling y'all the shit we be saying. I don't be saying this shit for no goddamn reason. See what else.
In 2 weeks, I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump, and I regret it now.
As a Hispanic, I voted for Donald J. Trump. Dude, I regret it so much, man.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
I voted for Donald Trump, and now I regret it.
A lot of people who were like me voted for Trump and have to account for that.
I regret voting for Trump.
So deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump.
I regret voting for Trump.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel.
Yeah, it served in the U.S.
Yeah, I cut that shit off. Somebody put something in here. This young lady said right here, said,
yeah, it served
this
in the
is
US Army.
Let me see if I can make that enlarge that. They said this is,
yeah, it served in the U.S.
I didn't.
This is a form of manipulation or emotional management instead of a true attempt to repair the damage. None of them mean it. Don't matter if they mean it or not. I'm be honest with you. Once you start posting shit on social media, I think you're just trying to blow up. I'm gonna be very honest with you. When you take your shit to social media, you are putting your coin into the I'm gonna go viral slot machine. This is gonna pay off my 2026 fully loaded Camry. That's what this shit be giving to me, y'all. Look, thanks for hanging with me for the last however long we've been on this bitch, 2-3 hours or whatever. I don't really have nothing to say about the Candace Owens shit. That's a sideshow. That's just some money. Ain't no more distractions. Okay, let's say all them people that did their regrets really believe that shit, right? It is quite obvious there are no more distractions going on. They just doing whatever the fuck they want to do. I personally feel like this is just continuing. If Ronald Reagan them laid the foundation, this is building the structure of steel beams, and they gonna be laying bricks over and over, like over the next few years and shit, so they finally complete they house of destroying the country complete. Because what empire is going to last forever? It just don't work like that. It just doesn't. It's go crumble one way or the other, and usually it crumbles from the richest of the rich being in control too much, doing too much shit to make sure that they in charge, and then somebody else who, at least in the beginning, be of the people. Their nation or whatever usually topples the one that dies out of greed. At least it appears that way. Who knows? But yeah, tell me what you guys think if you made it to the end of this video. What you guys think about all these things. Thank you so much, Allegedly Elise, for the clips, and thank you for everybody that commented and shared your opinion off in this thing. I really appreciate it. I will be working on a video upload for here probably tomorrow or Thursday. So be on the lookout. My next live over here probably gonna be on Thursday. So I'll see you on Thursday. And if you follow the other channel, Struggle Stream, I will check you out tomorrow afternoon for or maybe in the morning for Scrolling with Super, where I just go through my Instagram feed and we react to whatever the fuck going on. Teresa Kimbrough, if you show up in the live tomorrow, we gonna react to that channel you want to watch. I ain't forgot about it. Y'all have a good one. See you on the flip side. Peace out.